everybody. Hey, Mac, how are you?
What's happening, man?
How's everybody? We're live and we're in Philadelphia. Where are you?
You in Philly? Oh yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania, upstate.
Huh? Where are you?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
What are you doing? I thought you didn't live in Pennsylvania.
No, I do live in Pennsylvania. When did I say I didn't live in
Oh,
Pennsylvania?
where do you live?
Upstate Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania,
What's it called?
Pennsylvania.
Is that in the middle of the state?
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody lived in the middle of the state.
Oh yeah, a lot of people live here, man.
All
I
right.
live here.
We got Vadim. He's always early. Hello, wonderful people of the internet or World Wide Web. We got 2 games tonight. What do you think? What are you thinking about the games tonight? You have an opinion on the games?
You talking about the
Women's.
yeah, women's games.
Yeah.
So we got Texas and
Yeah.
and what's the other team? Texas and
Texas is. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, hang on 1 second. I just drew a blank on the score and the team. They're playing TCU. I'm sorry, with Haley Van Lith.
Okay, I think Texas will probably beat them, man. Just because I would like to see Haley Van Lith get up to the Final Four. She's been there for 5 years.
And she's made the Elite Eight every time too.
Right, exactly.
It was interesting. I didn't know that until they said it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I would like to see her get to a Final Four. But Texas is tough, man. They got a lot of depth and a lot of blue chip players and whatnot. But I'm rooting for Haley, even though I think Texas is going to outlast them. Just more depth and whatnot.
Yeah, Texas plays good defense, and they do have more depth in them. And just the only thing about Texas is I'm sure Madison Booker's a better player than I've seen. Maybe I just watched the wrong games because she shoots.
I watched all the wrong games. I've never seen a good game of hers.
Right.
Yeah, it's like she plays well every time I don't watch. I got to stop watching. Maybe.
I mean, like, look at this. She shoots 41% from threes. That's really good, and 46.5% from field goal percentage, which is pretty good too. And she gets 16 points, almost 7 rebounds. And I don't know. She just hasn't impressed me to the point where I didn't think she was going to be first team All-American. Now the AP put her first team All-American, but the U.S. Basketball Writers Association put her second team, and they put Anissa Morrow first. And tonight, Latza didn't make first team on either one of them, and I know that you're a fan of hers.
Yeah. I knew they were going to do that. Though. We kind of had a suspicion that they were going to jerk her, though. Like she's the easiest one to jerk because she doesn't have
school. Yeah.
It's just nobody cares about her.
I have a feeling that had some influence on her going to the transfer portal. I think she wants to get further in the tournament, and I think she wants more recognition for playing a bigger name school. And also some more talent around her so that she doesn't have to do everything and people start to recognize her. Like if she hooks up with another good guard, that's a nice backcourt right there.
I would love to see her go to Iowa, man. I seen the Pope say that the other day. I was thinking that too. I was like, she should go to Iowa.
I don't know. I think she wants to go to school that's a little bit higher up, that's got a better chance of a national championship.
Yeah, but she wants notoriety. I think she would rather have notoriety. There's no school you can go to where the fan base is going to, be as rabid as Iowa.
Yeah, I don't think that's where she's going. I think she's going to go to a school that she thinks has a national championship chance. Like any school, like even UCLA, Texas, and she's not going to go to. She's not going to go to UConn or South Carolina. I know that.
No,
but I think she'll go to a bigger school, a school that has a chance of a championship, even if it's TCU or something that has a chance for a championship. I don't know where she's going to go, but we'll see. it will be interesting. She said she might stay, which is kind of weird to go in the transfer portal and stay. She's close to the coach.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing too. Like, you get with the NIL, right? If I'm Florida State, because they got plenty of money. I mean, plenty of money in Florida State. I'm restructuring her NIL because that's really what it's going to come down to. Like, at the end of the day, if somebody offers her $500,000 and another school offers her $1 million, she's going for the $1 million. Because she's going.
That's a lot of money, and I agree with you on that part. If it's that high,
she's going to the WNBA, right? So her rookie year, she'll make what, $70,000?
We don't know yet. We won't know until we won't know. Well, she's 1 year away. We won't know what she's going to make. She's going to
right, but it ain't going to be $1 million. So
no. It's going to. We just know it's going to be more than 66 minimum or more than 74 for what the rookies got, because there's going to be a new collective bargaining agreement by the time she graduates.
Right, but you need to max out on your, you know what I mean. Right now, she needs to max out on her
NIL, right.
NIL right now, yeah.
Well, okay, so we'll see, but I still think she's going to go to a school that has a chance at a championship. So we'll see what happens. But you're right. You know, $1 million over 500,000. You know, I don't know exactly what they're going to offer her, but they're
going to offer her a lot. Florida State's going to offer her a lot to stay because she's there. It's like she's a bird in the hand. She's already there. Like they're gonna outbid everybody. I think she does end up staying, but
they could get a transfer to someone through the transfer portal and become better next year. It's not like they sucked. You know, they weren't bad.
No, they aren't bad. They weren't bad, and
they need some depth.
Yeah, they weren't bad. Yeah, and you know, I mean, at the end of the day, like if you're talking about a team where she could make a difference and still get her numbers, because one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to go somewhere and, you know, fall off, like get caught up in the system and where you're like averaging like 16 a game and whatnot. Because I mean, I think she still, so she gotta be very, very careful about that, because even though we both know she's not going to UConn or South Carolina, she could go.
No, she's not going there.
I like Louisville. I like Louisville for her if she wants to win a championship.
Louisville?
Yeah, they've always got great players, and they've always like right there. They're always right there.
Right. What about Notre Dame? Notre Dame, Olivia Miles is graduating, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but
unfortunately, they'd have two starting guards that are 5'8" and under. That wouldn't be good.
Yeah, exactly. And I like Stanford too. They're always right there.
All right, yeah, Tennessee. All right, we'll see.
Tennessee. Tennessee would. I think her and Tennessee would be amazing. That would be a great fit. That would be because they play this new coach. They press and they play a frenetic pace and they up and down. So I really think Tennessee would be a great fit for her. Yeah, I actually Tennessee, Kentucky. Yeah, there's some teams out there for her.
Aaliyah Chavez is coming into Oklahoma, and they're graduating some players, and she's a point guard more than a shooting guard. And so tonight, Latson could play the shooting guard, and she could be the point guard. She could actually go over to Oklahoma. They play fast pace, up tempo. That's a possibility too. We'll see.
I mean, if she goes to Oklahoma, I think that Oklahoma probably wouldn't do that, because they probably want to feature, because they probably promised Aaliyah that she would be featured, and you're not going to be featured.
She should still be the point guard.
Yeah.
I mean, she'd score a little bit fewer points, but she'd still be the point guard. And I think that's what she wants to be. I think she wants to be like Caitlin Clark. She wants to run. She wants to be a scoring point guard. You can just tell by how she plays. I've only saw the one game, but I've seen the highlights. I can tell what she wants. She wants, and she even said so. That's why she went to Oklahoma. She wants to run. So I think she wants to be a scoring point guard. So if she gets her points, I think she'll be happy. But I think she likes to pass, judging from what I've seen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So the other game tonight is USC and UConn. And my take is, if USC upsets UConn, it's going to make both the two superstars look bad. It's going to make Juju look bad because they won 3 games without her, because she only played a few minutes in the first game. And it's going to make Paige look bad because she can't even beat a USC team without the player of the year. So I don't think it's going to happen.
No, that's a great point. That's a great point. It's a no-win situation. If USC wins, especially because those are the two biggest stars in women's college basketball that everybody's hyping up. Yeah, right. Paige. Listen, Paige almost has to win the championship this year because everyone will say, "Oh, you got gifted. Juju got hurt. You got gifted
right.
the road." Yeah, so she has to win it.
And she's got talent around her too. Not Rob. Sorry, Eck. She's got talent around her. So it's not like she doesn't.
Well, she's always had that though. She's the last 4 years she's had a bunch of talent around her.
Yeah, not as much as Brianna Stewart, but yeah, she's had talent.
Yeah, and that still will remain to be seen because those girls haven't had a chance to but we'll see though. But as far as tonight, I saw Kiki Arifin the last game. She played horribly last game.
She's so inconsistent.
Gosh, I mean, she's god awful. I've never seen anybody that hyped up play a game that bad. She was god awful.
She had one good game against a lousy team with no one that had no height.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know, man. I probably see them getting beat by 20 or 30.
Yeah, I don't see them winning. It'll be very. I mean, they did have two freshmen that played last game, played really well, and we'll see if they're going to step up again. But I just UConn's got more depth, and I don't understand. I don't think it's going to happen because what's his name? They both were hitting. Let's see who was it? Howell went crazy, hit a bunch of threes, right? And she shot well last game, and Kennedy Smith played well. But yeah, Kiki, she's so inconsistent. Anytime there's better competition, she seems to melt. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of confidence for her.
So, and her draft stock has plummeted.
Hey, Retro Hairstylist, how you doing? So listen, I think that Paige, when she's assertive, is better than Juju. And I just think she needs to be more assertive. If she was this assertive all year, she would have won Player of the Year. But she wasn't this assertive. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if that was just an aberration or whether she turned the corner or something in between. We'll find that out tonight.
I think Paige is better than Juju. Yeah. And Paige is gimpy too on that bad knee. So it's like we got to see Juju come back. Paige has already come back from that knee. We got to see Juju come back from that knee. So it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I agree with you. Paige is a better player than Juju.
Did you see that podcast? I did a video today that said Juju is going to be 10 times better than Caitlin Clark. It was called I don't know, in something basketball, Infinity or something. I forgot, just a video on it. But what was it called? It was Lexi Brown was on it, and there was 3 other guest hosts. And the one guy called Aaron Miller, I don't even know if he's a basketball player. He was saying that Paige already had more influence than Caitlin Clark, which was like from out of field, that wasn't true. Let's put it that way. And then he said she's going to be 10 times better. And that's when I threw a brick at the screen when I was.
Yeah, I did that video the other day. I think they're trying to just flood the zone with narrative, right? So narrative is you can just keep saying something and just keep saying it and even though it's a lie. And
Fox News does that.
You mean MSNBC? Yeah, MSNBC does that all the time. But yeah, just keep saying a lie over and over again loud enough because you can see now there's a concerted effort, right? There's some kind of like agenda bigger than just the actual people that's doing it.
Right. It's like a script.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're just trying to like tell a lie over and over and over again. And they're trying to one thing I think they know they're not going to convince us, but they don't need to convince us because we're the minority. They just need to convince the actual layman, the people who may catch a game here or there, or the people that just cover it for the culture war. It don't really, know. All they got to do is have them think, yeah, Juju's 10 times better than Caitlin. And it's like, Oh, really? Like, if you think about this, Mark, do you watch women's soccer, the NWSL?
No, I watch the Olympics and the World Cup when the women play.
Right.
But I watch all the
So
games when they play. But just in
so
those two tournaments.
if I just told you if I told you there was some girl out, no, you know what? Better yet, gymnastics, right? Let's just say I told you there was some girl that's better than Simone Biles.
I'd turn on and immediately tape it. I would tape the event.
No, but the average person not gonna do. The average person gonna be like, "Damn, that's crazy." They just log it in their brain,
Right?
and and if you keep hearing it and you hear it and you keep hearing it, you keep hearing it from everybody. Yo, this girl's 10 times better than Simone Biles, and you're just a regular person. You got a job, you got kids, you don't have time to, check it out. You could get brainwashed like that.
No, it's one of those lies that are repeated often enough. The uneducated public starts to accept it as the truth. And not everybody follows it as closely. I mean, most people don't follow women's basketball closely. So they're just going to hear things like that. And they're going to hear things that Juju's better than Caitlin or more popular than Caitlin. And they're going to start to believe it if they listen to ESPN and things of that in certain podcasts. That's why I always don't know what to do. Like when I hear someone say something really stupid and untrue regarding these subjects, I never know whether to not give them the time of day because they don't deserve it, or to correct them, because if we don't correct them, then people start thinking it's the truth. So I'm always stuck, just like you. I'm always stuck whether or not to cover it. And anyway.
I think that it is good to cover it because some people will see those videos of us debunking it, and that'll help. I think it always helps to fight back against it, because if you let it go unchecked, I mean, and here's the thing too, it's so egregious. Like this guy didn't say, she's better. He said she's 10 times better.
Look, it's so simple. All right, obviously we know it's not even feasible for anyone to be 10 times better than anybody practically, but even twice as better. She'd have to go in there in her rookie year. Would have to be the best year in the history of the WNBA. Not the best rookie year, but the best year in the history of WNBA, period, for her to be even twice as good as Caitlin Clark. So that's just silly. So, Bobby, if Paige is better than Juju, that doesn't sound too promising for Juju. Well, Juju's overrated. So let's get that out of there right now. And I'm going to say this every day for the next 20 years. Juju will always be overhyped and overrated because of Caitlin Clark. Because they want her to replace Caitlin Clark because she's white and she's black. Let's put it what it is. There's so many flaws to Juju's games that the people that are saying she's Michael Jordan don't see. And I think she's a great player and a great talent. And I've said that several times. She's probably one of the top 5 players of all time, both in college and pros. Maybe top 10. I don't think she'll be number 1. I think Caitlin Clark's going to be number 1. But you want me to go over all her flaws, I will. But then you'll call me a hater.
I don't even know if Juju's going to come back from this knee injury, right? I told you how women struggle coming back from ACLs, and she's the type of player where she puts a lot of pressure on her ACL. We'll just see, man. I never thought Juju was all of that. Like, I never thought she was one of the top basketball players I've ever seen. I never had her in like these people have her like amongst the greatest they've ever seen. And when I looked at her, I'm like, she's good. You know what I'm saying? She's cool. Look, I never thought she was one of the best basketball players I've ever seen.
Here's what I feel. If she wants to be as great as they think she is, she needs to stop with her attitude about trying to break the scoring record, which now, luckily for her, she doesn't have to go after it anymore because she's never going to catch it.
That's
I think that might help her game because look at the play that happened. Her head was down. She was dribbling. She wasn't even looking at her wide open teammate because she does that all the time on the fast breaks because she's intent on scoring because she's still thinking about the scoring record. If anybody knows anything about basketball, you should be dribbling with your head up and should be looking left and right on a fast break to see if there's a teammate for you to dish it off to. She doesn't do that.
But she's not a point guard. She doesn't dribble well with her head up. She doesn't have court vision like that. Like here's the thing.
Michael Jordan used to get 5-6 assists a year, and he was a shooting guard. And he shot a lot.
No, but what I'm saying is she doesn't have great court vision. Juju, that's not something
because she's not looking for her teammates. Not because she doesn't
no.
have
I mean,
talent.
everybody can't dribble with their head up. Like Clyde Drexler couldn't do it.
Well,
It's a lot of players that can't dribble with their head up, coming full speed down the court.
Just because she's not doing it now doesn't mean she can't do it. She's just not doing it now. That's a bad habit. That's why it's a flaw in her game that people don't realize, because they just see this smooth, polished, very good athlete who's an excellent defender, who's scores a lot. I don't think she's a great offensive player, but she scores a lot. She's not efficient. So
yeah, I mean, her game is good. I think in any other time, if she had come along in the 90s or the 2000s, we would have already forgotten about her.
Except that if she won Player of the Year as a sophomore, that's pretty significant. Paige won as a freshman, the first person ever. Not many people.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying is that like there's very good players that came along in those eras that we've already forgotten about. I think we would have already forgotten. I think if she came along in 2015, we would have already forgotten about
her. I don't know. Not many players who won it as a sophomore besides Breanna Stewart and Cheryl Miller. I think those are the only two players, and only one won as a freshman.
But she probably wouldn't have won it because she wouldn't have been hyped up, because there would have been no need to hype her up, because there would have been no Caitlin. Her whole existence is based on Caitlin. Juju would just be another good player. The reason they put her on
doesn't change the fact that she won Player of the Year as a sophomore, though, Eck.
But she wouldn't have won Player of the Year as a sophomore.
You don't think so? I don't know. I would have voted for her. Not 3/4 of the way through the season, not 80% of the season. I would have voted for her. If Paige was more assertive, I would have voted for her, but she wasn't, so I wouldn't have voted for her. I would have voted for her despite her flaws, because because all the players had some flaws. Like watch Lauren Betts. She was a favorite for about 2 weeks, but when she comes up against bigger centers, she looks normal. She looks,
There was a girl that went to Louisville a while back. Her name was Angel McCautry.
Oh yeah, I know the name.
I think she's better than Juju Watkins.
Really? Skylar little of Juju?
Skylar Diggins in college. The college version of Skylar Diggins. I think she's better than Juju.
Juju, wait a minute. Juju didn't lead the scoring. She didn't lead the She didn't lead the nation in scoring. As a freshman, Caitlin Clark led the scoring last year.
Right.
What are you talking about?
I didn't say it.
I'm looking at you, Bobby. What is he talking about? Yeah. She didn't lead the nation in scoring. And leading the nation in scoring, that big deal. If you take so many shots, anybody can do that. It doesn't mean anything.
I think she's another good player. She came along at the right time. She came along at the perfect time. You know what I mean?
The popularity-wise, in terms of
they were looking for the NIL. They were looking for a black answer to Caitlin. She came along just at the right time. She's the black answer to Caitlin. They all pumping her up and they're putting her out there. But as far as just her game, without any of that, I think if she came along 10 years ago, we'd already forgot about it. We always be like, what's that girl? You remember that girl from USC? And we'd have to Google it to figure out what her name was.
So Marlon Hill says Paige winning as a freshman was laughable. So were you watching back then? Were you watching much women's basketball?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Paige had so much hype coming in. Paige had more hype coming in to the pros, into college, than any other player we've seen. So she was supposed to be like the best player ever, right? She came in her freshman year and she averaged 20, and UConn went to the Final Four. So she delivered on the hype somewhat. She delivered on the hype.
The Final Four was irrelevant to the Player of the Year voting, which is what I want to get to now, because the voting takes place before the before the NCAA championship. Takes place after most of them take place after the conference championship. The one athletic took place after the end of the regular season. So
okay.
I'm willing to debate with you whether or not she should have been player of the year as a freshman. Do you want me to pull up the stats? Because I don't have a strong opinion on it, but I'm willing.
No, I know the stats. She averaged
okay.
20, and Caitlin averaged like 26.
She was more efficient than Caitlin,
but Caitlin wasn't going to win it that year because nobody knew who she was. Everybody knew who Paige was, and she came in and she came in with so much hype.
I don't believe that nobody knew who Paige was. I found out who she was. Like I wasn't even following women's basketball, and I found out who she was because I believe it was Carolyn Peck. It was like maybe a couple games into the season. It might have been a UConn game or something. And at halftime or something, she came out and said the most exciting women's player, not the most exciting freshman, the most exciting women's player in college basketball is a freshman named Caitlin Clark. And I didn't even know what her race was. They made sure the highlights after she said it. But I went and started watching her, and I got, oh my God, this woman's exciting. The intensity that she had when she plays, it was the it factor, was the competition. It wasn't just the logos that she was dropping. I saw some great passes. And I started watching her. I wasn't really watching Paige. I watched Paige a couple times because it was UConn. So I was actually watching, and I thought Caitlin Clark was as good as anyone in the country, and I was shocked when she didn't make what was that? I get them always mixed up. It was the Wooden Award and the Naismith Award. Yeah, she didn't get the Naismith Final 15. that was unbelievable. And then she didn't make first team All AP, All American. She made second team behind like Dana Evans and Ryan Howard, Nilsa Smith. I think it was also Leah Boston and Paige. So she didn't make first team, but she made first team according to the Basketball Writers Association.
Mm-hmm.
So then she got co-freshman of the year, but couldn't even make first team All-American and Paige with Paige. So I don't have a strong opinion who should have won it between the two of them. I thought it was really, really close. But people say it was laughable. I heard Chicks Dig Scar podcast said that Caitlin was way better freshman year. I don't agree with that at all. I think they were comparable. But it is, I do agree with you that Caitlin Clark didn't have much of a chance. She got one vote that year.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like they had already determined 30 votes. They had already determined that they was gonna like Paige. Like Paige was, I remember Paige like 2018, 2019 on Twitter, like in Instagram, watching mixtape. She's like the first girl whose high school mixtape I was watching. She was like the first girl to do that, to have a high school mixtape that went viral. Because she was destroying them girls. Yeah, she's just better than everybody. And so it's like when you come in with that hype and you deliver, it's kind of like Caitlin last year. Caitlin came in with a lot of hype and she delivered. That's why she made first team on NBA, WNBA.
Right. So, anyways, I just thought it was close. I thought it was close. Caitlin Clark's sophomore year between her and Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston got 23 votes, and Caitlin Clark came in second with 6.
Aaliyah Boston was dominant, though. Aaliyah Boston
I said it was close.
College. Yeah, against college players. You know how some players are very good college players, and then like Christian Laettner and shit like, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
Christian Laettner was a phenomenal college player, right?
Yeah, like Aaliyah Boston was a great college player. I'm not really feeling her in the pros, but I will have to say, like in college, she was dominant. You couldn't stop her.
Right, I agree. So, anyways, that's what happened. The freshmen, when they were freshmen, there was 30. I looked this up for AP. The other 3 major award givers do not give out the breakdown, but AP does. And freshman year, Caitlin Clark had 1 vote out of 30, and Paige had 23. Second place was Dana Evans, who was not even as good as Caitlin Clark, so that was a joke. And then I gave you the breakdown for there. Nilsa Smith got the other vote sophomore year out of the 30, believe it or not. She got a vote over Caitlin Clark.
She was very good. She won a championship in college.
Right, and then
Nilsa Smith.
When Caitlin Clark was a junior, she got 20 votes out of 28. For some reason, there were 2 voters missing, and Leah Boston got the other 8. And then when she was a senior, she got 34, and for some reason, someone gave Cameron Brink got the other vote out of 35. There was 35 voters that year. So it's a breakdown of them. But, I don't know. I'd have, you'd have to go watch more that year to see who really should have won. But I thought it was close. I thought she got screwed over more on All-American and then the top 15. She wasn't even in the top 15. That's silly. So it will be interesting tonight, but I don't think USC has much chance. Kiki shows me she's not the real deal. And now the other two guys, have two freshmen have the game of their life. I don't know.
Nah, because the thing about it is, UConn's gonna jump on them, man, early, and it's gonna be like they're gonna have to answer. You're gonna have to keep answering, run. The thing about having Juju, I will give her this, is she can keep answering every UConn run, because UConn's gonna go on like 5 or 6 runs, and you have to answer each time.
You can't see.
I don't think USC they don't know how to answer to that.
No, it's because unless they'd have to hit a bunch of threes that they don't normally hit. And UConn would have nice cold three.
You have to hit them at the right time too. Like you can't hit them when you're down 20. You're gonna have to hit them when you're down 6. You're gonna hit them when you're down 8. You can't hit them when you're down 20. It's too late. You gotta keep it close.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be close. I think the first game could easily be close because I think they're playing right now. They're playing well, and Haley Van Lith seems to be determined, and that might not be enough to win, but it's going to be enough to make it a good game against Texas. So we'll see what happens with TCU. We'll see what happens. But I did a video on that. I thought that I didn't do a video yet on what Monica McNutt said. Did you do a video on that?
Yeah, Monica McNutt. She's just.
Rob didn't want to talk about race again. I said, okay, we'll wait a day or so.
she's unhinged, man. Like all of them, like they're trying to, they can't. Now this is a separate issue from who's better, the Juju or Caitlin. You have that issue, but this is the issue of why Caitlin's so popular. Is another thing that they're struggling with, man.
Yeah, you're all dark now. You're all dark for some reason. You're like all black and stuff, not like black.
like, I'm black.
Your screen was.
Let me see something, man. I'm good now, right?
You're good now, yeah. Now you're good.
Okay. Yeah, man, you racist, man. I think they're having a hard time. They're struggling figuring out why she's so popular, and the only thing, because they only think in 2 dimensions, and because they're racist. Like people like Monica McNutt, black people, regular black people are mostly racist. Okay, let's just be real. The average black person thinks along racial lines. Racializes everything. Everything is about race. So because they think like that, they're projecting that on the other people. So they're probably like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, I always root for the black person to win the Oscar. I always root for the black coach, the team that has the black coach. I always root for this, that. So white people must be the same way. And so they're trying to figure out why she's so popular. And the only thing they can come up with is race.
Well, the thing is, when you're a minority, it seems to me you're more likely to root for that other minority because you feel like, oh, we have the odds against us, and so they think, just because they think like that so strongly, because and I don't have a problem with them thinking like that. I can relate to the concept, but so they transfer that to how a white person thinks, and I'm saying they don't think the same way because they're not a minority. They don't always have to root for the white person because there's so many white people in the news or in whatever thing they're following. But in basketball and football, it's not so much the case. But it's not. Like I said, I follow basketball and football. I don't care that most of my favorite athletes are black. If it wasn't for the quarterbacks in football, almost none of my favorite athletes would be black.
I don't know about that because there's been a ton of good white basketball.
Oh, I know. I understand that. That's another concept to what it is. But she's assuming that a much higher percentage of white people are rooting or cheering or making Caitlin their hero because she's white, when in fact that's not the reason. And she can't get past that. And also they can't get past the fact that someone that took over the game was not only great, but also extremely exciting. And that made her extremely popular with a lot of money. And they're saying, well, if the black women built up the league, which is not true, because 1/3 of the great players were white, and also there was also the investors and owners and stuff like that, they can't accept the fact that a white person was able to do that. And that's what's really bothered them, because it wasn't just she's more popular, she's way more popular. That's the problem they're having with it. That's really what it amounts to. It's the amount of, it's how much more popular she is than everybody else. I think that's what's really bothering people.
And also too, like they want something to happen. They want her to. That's why they jumped all over what she called Juju Kid. Remember, she said Kid will be all right. They're searching for a chink in the armor. Caitlyn is also, this is something that people don't like either, when you're too squeaky clean, right? So like Caitlyn doesn't really make mistakes publicly. You know, Angel, every week Angel makes some kind of
She told her listeners to shut the F up and don't watch if they don't like who she is. That's not a smart business move.
But Angel does that about once a week, so it's kind of like and she doesn't care either. So Angel doesn't care, so she has no shame. So when it comes to Caitlyn, they want to see a chink in her armor. They want to see like a vice or something, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the 48 laws of power. People resent you if you're too squeaky clean. And Caitlyn hasn't given them anything. Like, she doesn't have any real vices, public vices. She's got a boyfriend.
Not really.
You know what I'm saying? She's got a boyfriend. She's stable. She's all the teammates like her, even the ones who talk shit. Once they get around her, they're like, "Oh yeah, All-Star Weekend. I thought she was gonna be this way, but she's really this way." And it's like there's really nothing, you know what I mean? There's nothing to criticize her about. And most people like, if you're gonna be that popular, for you to at least have some kind of vice or chink in your armor where they can, ding you with. And she doesn't have any of that, and that makes them even more upset and more jealous.
Okay, so Kay Stone made a comment here, and I want to address. She said, "Little white girls, not the entire white race." Are you really thinking? You really think that makes a difference? She's saying white people in general. She's saying white girls. Do you think white girls are any different than white adults in terms of her implication and what she's saying? Sorry, I think she's saying white people in general. That's what they do. They start as little. I think little girls are less likely to see race than the adults in our society, especially, generations older. My generation is more likely to see color than the young kids. Rob says that all the time. The people he worked with, and kids, they don't care about race. They don't care. They said, they don't care. No, they don't. Little babies don't care about race. You see little babies and little kids that are black and white that play with each other and all the time, and they don't care what race the other person is. Society teaches them to care about race. So
right.
It's the way she said it was, they're rooting her because she's white, and that's really not. That's basically was Asia Wilson all over again. That's all it was.
Yeah, and she said it to a white woman who kind of like,
you said, "Why is that?"
Yeah, you could see the white woman was agreeing with her. Like, it's kind of like the black people are intoxicated. The black people in the WNBA space are intoxicated because they're not getting any pushback. So like, if they say some racist stuff in front of a bunch of white people, the white person, white people not gonna push back, because then they'll be called racist for pushing back. So it's like, so all this stuff goes unchecked, and it's kind of like a child that has never been taught manners, and then you see that child in public at Walmart or something, and the child's knocking stuff off the shelves and having a fit, and you're like, "Yo, what the hell is up with that child?" But you don't know that child hasn't been disciplined at home.
But you probably haven't, is what you do know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, but what I'm saying
for
is,
sure.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know for sure. And I think that's how the black media in the WNBA is now, because they don't get any pushback from any of these ridiculous takes. The only pushback is the black YouTubers and a couple of people on, and they can ignore us. Like if one of like say any of say we had like 500,000 subs or even 100,000 subs, maybe they wouldn't be able to ignore us as much. But all the YouTubers that support Caitlyn, they kind of the algorithm kind of keeps you at a certain level. I've seen a lot of the guys that a lot of guys and the women that support Caitlyn, they should be getting way more views because of how popular Caitlyn is and how much she's in the algorithm. But you see, the most they'll give you on a video is 20,000, or they won't let your video go crazy, out of control.
They haven't let any of my videos go crazy for months.
Yeah, they won't let your videos go crazy, because they're also in on it. The algorithm, the YouTube and Twitter, they won't let you. They won't. They keep you. They keep you in a certain space. So it's like those people on in the mainstream don't have to worry about us. They don't have to, because we're so small.
Yeah. Well, Mick puts out so many videos. Somebody said Mick's stealing all the views. John the Liquidator and Mick, but they also have the most clickbait titles too. That they're not even they're live.
Let me tell you something about that. I'm a veteran YouTuber. There's nobody stealing your views. There's if they wanted to.
Person said.
No, what I'm saying. No, I'm just saying to that person. I was watching Speed last night. He's at YouTube. He had 200,000 people on a live stream, and he's just, what I'm saying. He's a streamer.
What is it? What does he cover?
He just was in China, doing, trying to be a monk. He just goes all over the world and does different little stuff. And little black kid, like 20-year-old black kid, 200,000 in the chat on a live stream, 200,000, right? He has 37 million subs. And he doesn't. I mean, I'm not taking nothing from him. He's brave. He goes around different places. It has different adventures and experiences different things. But what I'm saying is that there's nobody. There's no views that somebody's stealing from you. I remember when I first got on YouTube, when I first got big on YouTube with the news, I was getting 40, 50, 100,000 views a video. And then the algorithm one day I guess they just dinged me, and I couldn't get over 1,000 views for like a few months. And then I finally worked my way up to getting like a couple thousand, 5,000, 10,000 a video. But they took me, like the algorithm just shut me down like overnight. And it's like, it's nobody, no other YouTuber. It's either the algorithm, you did something to piss off the algorithm, or there's somebody at YouTube that doesn't like your content, so they put like a algorithm. They put you in a weird algorithm, or put like a spider on your channel or something, whatever. But like, it's no other YouTuber that can affect your views. There's limitless views. There's limitless views. Mm-hmm. You know who gets a lot of views on Caitlyn Clark content?
Who?
Those AI generated videos.
Yeah, a lot, but they get more views in relation to their subscribers because they have clickbait titles. But I'm not sure. It's there's no substance to them. I've listened to them. They just say the same thing that's been said all over before in the past. There's nothing insightful about the videos.
Right.
Holly says she's so tired of it. So what if she likes her because she's white? Well, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it myself. I'm just saying I don't think most people are liking her because she's white. But because there's black people that like black athletes because they're black. So I don't criticize that. That's what my objection is I don't criticize that. As long as they don't dislike the person because they're white, I don't really care if they root for a person if they're black. That's my feeling.
Yeah, no, that's a great point though. Like, I think Adrian was saying that the other day. She said, "So what? Yeah, like okay, like who cares? Like, why can't a white person like a white person because they're white? but they're kind of like policing white behavior. They're like kind of like hurting white people. Like white people move to the left, they put a wall here. White people move to the right, they put a wall here. They're like hurting white people like a what's that dog? A shepherd, what they call those dogs? They herd animals, a sheepdog or whatever. It's kind of like they every time a white person, you called her a kid, you there was only white people that disappeared. And white people gotta, one thing white people gotta do is stop caring. That's the first thing white people have to do. Too many white people care about what these random black people think about their motivations. Once white people stop caring, that's the first step. You have to stop caring about that.
Well, what I don't like is called being racist when you're not racist, and that's
yeah, you got to stop caring about that because they're going to call you racist.
I don't like that.
Have you noticed that
from my personal standpoint, I don't like it when people say something is racist when it's not, because you're not going to solve racism if you don't define racism properly.
You can't solve racism.
Pardon me?
You can't solve racism, Mark.
No, you can.
No, you
it's just going to take a long time because
no, you can't solve racism, Mark. Somebody's always going to not think about it.
But if we're talking about
this, Mark, you can't solve racism. Somebody's always going to not like somebody.
That doesn't mean you haven't solved racism if like 99% of the people are no longer racist. The problem is the percentage of people that are racist is more than 1%. That's what the problem is. When I say solve racism, I don't mean 100%. Of course, that's never going to happen. But in order to if you get it under control, like you get 99% of the people to not see color, you basically solve racism. That's feasible. It's probably 500 or 1,000 years away, but it's feasible.
No, this not feasible. There's no way you're going to stop racism. Racism shouldn't be a goal. That shouldn't be a goal. It should be a goal to stop racism. Who cares if somebody's race? Like, here's the thing, okay?
Because it causes problems in society. I completely disagree with that.
No, it doesn't.
It does still cause problems in society.
No, it doesn't. Talking about racism and harping on it causes problems. Last week, there was a story about this black lady in Allentown. You heard about that? I know you heard about that.
What happened?
She's a politician and she planted a noose on her desk.
What did she plant on her desk?
A noose.
Oh no! She did this. She's a white woman.
Or a black woman, city council woman, and they did an FBI investigation.
Why did she put a noose on her desk?
Because she wanted to say that some people were being racist against her. That somebody in her office was being racist against her.
She planted it herself.
She went. They got her on camera going into the office. Nobody else was in the office, and then she made a phone call to the police that there was a noose on her desk. They took every DNA sample from everybody in the office, and the only person that wouldn't submit a DNA sample was her.
Would this just happen?
Last week, Allentown. Type in Allentown noose, and when you get a chance, yeah. And she's a city councilwoman.
Wow, I didn't see it. I've been avoiding the news because it's too depressing. It's Caitlin Clark.
Well, anyway, they found out that she was the one that planted the noose, right? That's the only noose that's been planted on anybody's desk in any black person's area, and God knows how long. And it was planted by a black person. And the one before that was a hoax too. Every time you notice that every time some noose is put somewhere, some racist graffiti is put somewhere, it turns out to be, when they do the investigation, it turns out to either be a black person that did it.
All right, we'll just have to agree to disagree. I completely disagree with you that racism can't be solved. I completely disagree with you that racism is good or that it's not bad. I think that it's awful, and I think it's why I get upset with the very far right who pretend racism doesn't exist, and the very far left who claim racism when it's not really racism. It's the same thing with the overly PC people, and I get upset with both of them, because if you don't have an honest definition of what is racist and what's not racist, you can't work to solve the problem.
What is racism? What is racism? What is stopping anybody? Like, give me an idea of give me an example of the last time you seen a black person suffer from racism, because I need to know what you're talking about as racism. Like, what have you seen? Because you would see it. If it's as prevalent as you're saying it is, you're going to see it. What do you give me an example of a black person you've seen where, like, yo, that was racist what just happened to that black person? And I'm talking about in your life. I'm not talking about on TV.
In my life?
Yeah.
Well, in my life, I don't see it on a daily basis or anything like that. But that's my life.
Well, I mean, you're 60 years old. Go back as far as you have to. When was the last time you saw? You live in a city where it's 50% black. When was the last time? Well, give me an example of what of a racist incident. I want to know what you're talking about.
Me, the person got something. I'd have to think about that. For me, that doesn't mean the black person didn't have it in his. I'm not around a black person all day, every day. That might happen there. So the black people that I'm around, I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing, Mark, you should be able to answer that really quickly. If like, you should have been able to rattle off a bunch.
But I can give you examples in society. I'm just saying
No, because here's the thing. No, because then we're going back into like the bullshit. You should be able to see it. If it's as prevalent as you're talking about, we need to spend 500 to 1,000 years trying to fix it. You should be able to rattle off a bunch of incidents you've seen recently where a black person has been a victim of racism. You saw it personally, because I mean, like, let's just be honest, man. When something's happening, you're going to see it. If something's prevalent in society, you'll see it.
It's not to the point where people walk down the street and they get mugged because they're black, or they get accused of mugging someone just because they're black in front of me. It happens though. They get accused of it sometimes.
No,
and the criminal work I've done, where they got accused and they didn't do it because they were misidentified as being the black people are misidentified.
So you're saying because a black person was misidentified, that happened because they were racist?
No, stuff that they've done in criminal cases I've had, that I felt that the cops weren't being honest about how they testified and what they saw and what they did against a black person, because they wanted a conviction against them.
Well, what if, okay, so you're talking about a black area where the black people are doing the crime, and you said that they misidentified one black person for another black person.
Or they've had situations where I felt the cop was lying because he wanted a conviction against a black person. Because he wanted to.
What if he just wanted a conviction? What if he just wanted a conviction and the person happened to be black?
But he also might have wanted to convict this black person because he didn't like black people. I don't know what's going through his head.
Why would you become a cop in a black area if you hate black people?
You don't get hired in a black area. You get hired in a particular county, and they assign you where they want to assign you. That's where it happens.
But why would you be a cop when all you're going to deal with is black people?
No. So in Philadelphia, they don't know where they're going to get placed.
Okay, but what I'm saying is as a cop, 90% of your work is helping people. Every cop doesn't shoot people. Every cop doesn't get to shoot people. That's rare to be a cop and get to shoot somebody. Most of your work is helping people. Cops help people locked out of their car. Somebody gets locked out of their car, they call the cops. Somebody's boyfriend's kicking their ass, they call the cops. Somebody there's music playing too loud outside their house, they call the cops. Most of the cop work, very little of cop work is just shooting people. Most of it is just helping people. Menial shit. Hey man, I'm locked out of my car. 911. Can you send somebody over here with a to help you get in my car? Hey, I got a flat on the side of the road. Can you call the cop? You call 911. Hey, my kid's missing. They didn't come home from school. Can you help me find my kid? Um, very few cops are dealing with situations where where there's any way where they can be racist. Most of the situations.
What about the circumstances where black people come into people's doors accidentally and the white guy just shoots them? You don't think that's because you think they would have shot a white guy?
How often does that fucking happen?
But it happens. But it's racist. You said there's like no danger in racism. There's danger in racism. It doesn't matter.
But Mark, how often? What's the likelihood of a black person going to some white man's door? I canvassed. I did outdoor sales where we go up to the house and we. Hi, I'm so and so with Premier Roofing, and we're in your neighborhood doing a job down the street. And while we're in the neighborhood, we were just going around giving away free estimates. And I was looking at your roof and your windows, and I was just going to have a specialist come by and give you a free estimate, locked in stone. You can use it for 6 months. What's your name? And blah, blah, blah. And I did that for a while, and outdoor sales in white neighborhoods. And no one ever really looked at me funny. No one ever gave me an attitude. No one ever pulled a gun on me. I'm the wrong person. I've knocked on thousands of white doors in all white neighborhoods doing outdoor sales.
But nobody
so you can't talk to me that there's an epidemic. If you knock on a white person's door, they're just gonna come out and shoot you. You can't. You gotta hit somebody else with that one, Mark. You gotta hit somebody else with that. You can't just hit me with that. I'm the wrong person.
At the door. Where's Frank? Where you been? How come you don't answer emails? My gosh. You stood me up for you were supposed to be on a show and stood me up. Now you show up tonight.
That was the kids. Shout out to Pope, man. That was the kids, man. I got
your phone number so we can talk.
I gotta run though. Mark. I'm gonna see you later, man. Peace out.
All right. We're going to do a live stream at 7. All right. I didn't mean to get into all the, but Caitlin Clark brings racism into all of it. It's just pretty sad. Anyways, we're going to talk about basketball. So I need predictions from the crowd in terms of who do you think is going to win tonight? I guess everyone's going to pick UConn. Has anybody got a lot of balls and want to pick USC? And what about Texas? Anyone think Texas is going to get upset? Let's see. Anyways, we'll see what happens. Anyone have a prediction on the games tonight? We got 71 people. Texas and UConn. DePope's got USC in an upset. USC wins. It's not a good look for Juju. I said that in the beginning. If USC wins, Juju and Page both look bad. So that's my opinion. Yeah, I don't think Page makes her teammates better. That's what my objection to Page is. She's more of an individual talent, and that's not good. It's not good when you don't make your teammates better and you have the ball in your hand a lot. It doesn't matter if she's a point guard or not. She has the ball in her hand a lot. The reason she's not a point guard is she won't pass more. She could be a 1.5 instead of a 2 if she wanted to be. Michael Jordan, go look it up. Go look up Michael Jordan, 5-6 assists a game. And he shot a lot. So tell me, I don't know. That's part that's confusing me. Anyways. So, I saw that Cheryl Swoops said that the Fever have a possible championship, but she had to whisper it. She didn't give Caitlin Clark any credit, though. She just said Caitlin Clark looks stronger and has been working out on her game. Didn't say that Caitlin Clark would have any factor on whether or not they would win a championship. She made sure she didn't give a real compliment to Caitlin Clark, is my point. If you listen carefully to what she says, people are saying, oh, yeah, she praised Caitlin. No, she didn't praise Caitlin Clark. She said Caitlin Clark looks stronger and has been working on her game. She didn't say Caitlin Clark's game is going to be better this year, that she finished the season last year strong, or that she's playing well, or that she's a good passer, or that she's a good leader, or that she's going to be key to this team winning a championship. She didn't say any of that. She just said Caitlin Clark. She was very sly in what she said. She knew she could not listen. She knew she could not mention Caitlin So she mentioned her, but didn't give her a real compliment. Go back and listen to what she said, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And she gave all the credit to the old guard. First two things she said was old guard, old guard. They even mentioned Sophie Cunningham. She mentioned Kelsey Mitchell because she thinks Kelsey Mitchell is the best player in the team. Aaliyah Boston get better every year. Aaliyah Boston wasn't any better her sophomore year than her second year than she was her first year. So that wasn't even true what she said about Aaliyah Boston. Now I'm hoping Aaliyah Boston gets better this year, and I hope the veterans help her out. Debana and Natasha Howard. I hope they teach her a few things about getting in shape, working on her game, working on her post moves, strengthening her grip so the ball gets knocked out of her hands when she gets it in the post. And getting in shape is the most important thing because they're going to run. And if she's not running, she's not in shape, guess what? She's not going to get minutes. Will UConn catch Shea for not beating Juju if they win? For not beating Juju? Well, that's not their fault. Juju's not there. So I don't know if they're going to catch any shade for that. Is that what you're asking? For not beating, I don't think they're going to catch any shade. It's not their fault Juju got injured. They won't get as much credit, but I don't think they're going to catch shade. I think those are two different things. So I hope I'm answering your question. Of course, they're going to get less credit, but who knows? We don't know how good USC is without Juju. Again, I don't think she makes her teammates better. So, anyways, yeah, I knew Swoops wasn't going to give her a compliment. She was very, very clever about what she did. She's setting Caitlin up. So basically, what she's going to say is, "Well, yeah, they won a championship because of the old guard, not because of Clayton, not because of Clayton. Clayton, I have a friend named Clayton. Sorry, not because of Caitlin." That's what she's thinking in her head. Okay, well, if I give the old guard credit now and then they win it, they'll go say, "See, I told you the old guard were the key to them winning a championship." I'm not going to mention Caitlin at the end of the year. We'll see. She'll be MVP, and Cheryl Swoops won't give her a compliment. That's my feeling. I just feel she's like that. You know, she does not like white people, no matter what she tells you. And she doesn't like white people who gets a lot of attention and money more than the black women in the league. So that's what it is. Texas played TCU and UConn plays USC. Yeah, I'm going to turn on my TV in a minute, and I'm going to stream that. I'm going to stay on. I'm going to stream it though. Which game? Texas's game is first, right? Is it ESPN regular? Is that what we got? Do you guys? Anybody have that in front of you? Oh, I can answer that question. Are we done with Rudy on crossover? I invited him back, and he felt, well, I don't know if I can talk about it public, but he felt he was being set up because not everybody agreed with him. I don't understand. It was very weird what he said. So he didn't want it to be a debate. He just wanted him to spew out his opinions and have strong opinions for, long takes, and nobody challenge him on it. That's the impression I got. That's about all I'll say. And I said, well, it's a debate show. It's based on the sports reporters. They went back and forth all the time. And he was upset because I called him Woody, but that was an accident. It wasn't on purpose. And you guys don't go calling him Woody on his site. That's childish. I made the mistake. If you want to tease me about making the mistake, fine. But you shouldn't tease him about being called Woody because that is my mistake when I said Woody. That's just my personal opinion that you shouldn't. That's not worth it. My TV's not coming on. What's going on here? The hater panel is on. Okay. But yeah, I invited him back. And but I think he's better by himself with opinions. So anyways, that was my opinion. Who cares about Boston? Well, she did play on Unrivaled, so she's probably taking. I know he did a video on that. I saw the headline. I didn't watch the video. Hang on, my TV's not coming on. And this is weird. Maybe I changed the battery or something. And she just finished playing on Unrivaled. So if she goes on and has vacation, fine. As long as she comes back, right after vacation, starts working on her game immediately. Because the season doesn't start till May 17th. She can get in shape in a month. The problem is, I'm not sure she works hard enough. People are saying, "Oh, well, you got to get in shape to play in the fourth. You play in the fourth quarter to get in shape." I go, "No, you do sprints after practice. That's how you get in shape. Go do sprints after practice." That's what I said. I played ultimate frisbee, and we would only practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we would run almost all practice because it was almost like a scrimmage, and then we would go run the hills and we'd go do sprints. And by the weekend, we were in great shape. So she's just going to have, she's 6'5". It's a little bit harder for her to run, but guess what? Too bad. Go out and run. Go out, sprint, and get in shape. Yeah, it takes more energy to run when you're that big, but as you lose weight, it becomes easier. I was very disappointed that she could show up when she had such a long off season last year and not be in shape. I don't know why my TV's not turning on. Hang on a second. All right, here we go. What is going on? Sorry about that. My TV wouldn't come on, and now it finally came on. All right, what channel is it on? Is that ESPN? Bobby, it was an innocent mistake. Okay, that's not disrespecting somebody. It's not like I've known him for 8 years and called him the wrong name. I didn't even know the guy. So it's just, you guys blow that out of proportion. My God. Like you never made a mistake before. That wasn't the problem. That wasn't the issue. He didn't want his opinions challenged. So that's all I can say. He just wanted to have strong opinions when no one gave him any pushback. That's silly. Everyone got pushback for their opinions on every show we've had so far. So we'll see what happens right now. So who's got a game today? Who's on the live stream is going to be Texas, right? It's going to be ESPN. So we'll see.
Oh, there is the team's X factor and edge tonight. Here we go, Texas and TCU.
All right, Texas and TCU. I'm kind of pulling for Haley a little bit. So, anyways. Brianna Stewart get more minutes than I bet you that both Natasha Howard. I bet that both Natasha Howard and Brianna Turner. Brianna Turner's gonna get more minutes than Leah Boston. Oh, I don't know about that. I think of all the starters, I'll say this: of all the starters, Leah Boston will get the fewest minutes. And she may end up with fewer minutes than Sophie Cunningham. But I don't think she'll be worse than 6 in minutes played. There's a good question for you. In minutes played, where do you think Aaliyah Boston's going to be out of the 12, say out of the top? Well, it doesn't matter. What place? Out of the 11, 12 players they have. So I'm going to take retro hairstylist. I'm going to do the game. You want to stick around. So I may have to take a couple breaks here. I haven't had a break. Let's see. Hang on. My phone's blowing up. Bye, Retro. All right. So, yeah, I don't think Brianna Turner's going to get more playing time than. I would say she'll be 5th or 6th in minutes played. But we'll see if she, if she looks like she's slowing down the offense. Stephanie White doesn't care. She's going to do what they got to do to win. Top Gun. All right, Hot Boy Corleone. What kind of name is that? 25 to 28. We got 18. All right. So we got 46 people here. Tell me how many minutes you think Aaliyah Boston's going to play, and how will she rank in minutes on the team? So I'm thinking she'll play around 25 minutes a game. I don't know if I'm right or not, because it's kind of a unique situation, but my feeling is you don't need 5 people who can run. You need 4, and they have 4. And what they could do is, if the other team is conceding the rebound, which seems to be something that some teams might do, Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston can get the rebound, and everybody else can start running down the court. The only time that's a problem is when Aaliyah Boston is at the top of the key when the shot is taken, and she has to be one of the ones that run down the end of the court. But she did run down at the end of the court sometimes last year and got the fast break. So it's not like it's never happened. So we'll see. Anyways, the game's starting. I'm going to talk about the game now instead. So, but there's Haley Van Lith has got the ball, and TCU is off. We'll see. She's an experienced guard. That gives her an advantage. Like, I think if Madison Booker is a really good player, but she never plays well when I watch her, I mean. So we'll see what happens. I think I turned it down too much. Mixed in with the highest voice. I know who Corleone is. I just didn't. The name was just funny. Yeah, for once, Madison Booker has to play a good game when I watch. And I didn't really know that much about Madison Booker before this year. She might be in competition for Player of the Year next year. If she continues to improve. 25 to start, and it will go down. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking 25 also. They got a lot of depth. I don't think anyone but Caitlin's going to play a ton of minutes. And I even think Caitlin's not going to play a ton of minutes because they have a backup point guard that they can trust. Yeah, I'm not one of the ones that don't think Aaliyah Boston can play. It's there's other haters out there. Oh, make the shots, Donut Prince. Jeez. What are you, in the WNBA? You can't make a layup? Is there a lid on the basket? Well, that was easy. So Bobby, is your fault he got upset about the name thing. Bobby's, but you don't think that's childish to just call him Woody just because I called him Woody accidentally? Seriously, it's childish. You shouldn't do that. I'm not telling you how to behave. I'm just telling you it's childish. Just I made a mistake on his name. That doesn't mean you can call him Woody. Did he insult you? Sorry. Am I out of line here? Tease him about something that's his fault. I made a mistake. I don't see how you don't see that, Bobby. So I'm glad to see Haley Van Lith is covering Madison Booker some. I'm glad she's taking the Prince can't hang on to a rebound with a woman half her size. Aaliyah needs Zuccardi in the pool. Shh. So
they're one of the best passing teams in the country. 8th in the nation in team assists, just under 19 a game. And they are the best three-point shooting team. So they're definitely a rhythm team. And I do believe a good passing team needs to be becoming a good shooting team. You're going to see that pick and roll action all day long. They have their jack to try and beat the shot clock cover. And Amanoka is already a difference maker on the glass.
Barn burner here 2-1. I know there's a lid over the basket. Are you talking to me, Vonda? Are you talking to me? I did apologize to twice. It was an honest mistake. I shouldn't have to apologize 3 times. Maybe you just need somebody to tell you it's childish, Bobby. You should make fun of people. Making fun of people for things they can't control. They don't have control over is the transporting thing. No, I saw that in a headline, in a video headline. I try to avoid that topic. The trans topic. I'm not for trans people in sports, though. I'm not for people. Anyone who went through puberty to play against women. Has there been any upsets? Well, I'll go look at the bracket. There was some upsets, but they were really minor upsets, I think. There was barely any in the men's this time. The first round, that was about it. Yeah, they should have a separate trans sports league. But there's not enough people. There's no good solution. My feeling is they didn't become trans to compete in sports. They became trans because they had a disconnect with their mental aspect of their sexuality and their actual physical aspect of their sexuality, which isn't their fault, but they shouldn't be able to benefit from that by competing against women after they've gone through puberty. Maybe they shouldn't compete against women in sports at that point. That's what I think. Yeah, I agree. That's my problem with it. Like I said, they didn't become trans to compete in sports. So, but they seem to be taking advantage of that fact when they transfer, when they trans. I don't think it's fair to women. Yeah. AJ, who's AJ? Who's AJ? Boro. Is TCU loses? Is the coach going to unveil a loser go shirt? I don't understand that, Vadim. Maybe did I miss something? Who's AJ? Oh, AK. Oh, yeah, I saw that. I didn't have time to watch it. I saw the video come up in my thread, and I didn't have a chance to watch that. I'm sure he's against trans. I'm against that. I am. Like I said, I basically gave my viewpoint on it. If I had a daughter, I wouldn't want her to be competing against men. But, you know, someone who's gone through puberty, it's too late. Sorry. There's only a couple circumstances where the person seems to be like almost two sexes. That's a different story. I'm not going to get into that because that's too complicated. But we love to laugh and troll people, including Marcus. But when the chips are down, thanks, Bobby. What debate? What's the Bizarro Rob debate? What was that? That's because I'm honest, and I try to be fair. I try to be objective. I try to be fair. I can't say I always, but that's my goal, is to be fair, reasonable, objective, and knowledgeable on something I give an opinion on. But I can't say I'm always like that.
At the end of the day, we have to be tougher than them. Okay, you have the toughness today. Take care of the ball. Box these suckers out. Today, be bold.
So, Bobby, you guys are the OG, just like the OG subscribers, just like the. I never heard of that phrase before the WNBA. OG. Only the. So now you're checking. Right. Yeah, I'm not for it. I think it's all it is being against transgender, competing against women. All that is being for women. I don't think it's being anti-transgender. Maybe it's unfortunate for them. Maybe they just can't compete in sports or compete against the sex they were born. Haley. Oh, come on. It's just right out of her hands. By the way, Aaliyah Boston needs to do hand grips and strengthen her hands because the ball gets knocked out of her hands too much when she's in the post. She needs to strengthen her hands somehow. Hand grips are the easiest way. We used to do that in wrestling. I don't know if TCU has enough depth to beat Texas. We'll see. Corleone.
Harmon, they've got a good chair. Scoring 7 of their 9.
Oh, is that what it is? Bizarro. Yeah, I haven't done a video on the trans yet. I don't think it really affects Kagan Clark's or women's basketball enough right now. Unless they put a trans player in the WNBA, I'm probably not going to do a video on it. I wouldn't put it past them. I've heard the term old guard before, but like in passing, but never of anything significance where it came up in discussion or anything. I just heard the phrase before. I just never heard it used much, I guess is what I'm saying, where it had any value or significance to anything I was involved in, I guess. But they seem to use that term all the time in the WNBA, like it's a badge of honor, and it's they're the only league that has old guards in the world. they're the only league in the world that there was former athletes that played in the sport before this year. You think Hot Boy Corleone is a Mick Burner account? That's funny. I invited Mick on the show, but I don't know if I reached him because I just left a message on Twitter. I don't know if he's ever on Twitter. He has an account. Oh. No, they didn't. That's not true. Look at. They thought she was male, and I'm sure they did a physical before they put her in with the females, or they wouldn't have done that. I just can't imagine them doing that. They thought she was male because her voice is deeper than yours and mine together. She looks like a guy. But I'm sure they checked her out genetically, and she's a female. I'm infatuated with Mick. I'm not infatuated with Mick. I watch a video of his occasionally, but he says a lot of the same things over and over again, so it's hard to get through them. I don't like repetition like that. Yeah, TCU, they got to get off to a good start here. Oh, nice play. Is that Haley? Yeah, except there's 156 jobs now. It went up this year. It's not 144 anymore. 13-6 in one quarter. 6 points in a quarter. TCU has a baby Shaq. 6 points. Come on, Haley. That's she looks like she looks a little bit like what's her name? And I used to play for Iowa. No. No. That woman. God. I'm drawing a blank now. Give me 1 second. Finally, 9 points. Whoa, they're on fire.
This is what you needed.
Okay.
Play for TCU down the lane line. Throw back to the slot. Bucket. Corn frogs.
Wow, that was a burner. Crooks. Oh, no. No. I'm saying that one woman. Let me see what her name was at TCU. I think that was the one I'm thinking of. Oh, yeah. So look up these two women and tell me if they don't have some similarity to their looks. Gabby Marshall and am I spelling that right? I think it is. And TONOVYN. I have no idea what race Donovan Hunter is, but I know Gabby Marshall's biracial, and I don't really care. But they look alike. All right, someone tell me if I'm crazy or if these two women look alike. Did I got it wrong? Wait a minute, was it Gabby Marshall?
Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. A Valencia orange makes a bloom.
Gabby Marshall.
And everything a little brighter.
Introducing Shea Moisture's new body wash. Proven to leave your skin visibly moisturized for 24 hours. Made with fair trade shea butter and over 90% naturally derived ingredients. Show that glow with Shea Moisture.
Angel soft, but it's gotta be soft.
It's gotta be strong. Actually, Angel Soft is bold, soft, so it's cushy and strong to get the job done. Angel Soft.
The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes. The NCAA programs deliver $4 billion in scholarships every year. Those D1 scholarships are now guaranteed. Health and well-being services are mandatory. Student athletes get tutoring as well as financial literacy.
No, not the track star. Gabby Marshall, the basketball player. Gabby Marshall and Donovan Hunter look alike. Look up their photos and tell me if I'm crazy, but they don't look like twins, but you're thinking of Gabby Thomas. She's the track star. I'm talking about Gabby Marshall. She played for Iowa. Yeah, Hunter plays for TCU. They just showed her on the sideline. Look her up. Tell me whether she looks like Gabby Marshall or not. Gabby Marshall, and I put the names up there. Gabby Marshall and Donovan Hunter. Gabby Marshall played for Iowa last year. And then Donovan, when I first saw her, I said, I thought Gabby Marshall was like graduated. They both have the nice eyes and they have the nice skin. I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what the race is of Donovan Hunter. I know Gabby Marshall's biracial. 9 points in one quarter. Whoa. All right. Yeah, let me know if I've been crazy or not. But yeah, let me look at his stats here. This is an embarrassing performance by TCU. You're not going to win a national championship scoring 9 points a quarter. That's my personal opinion. Silly me.
A 10-second violation, a shot clock violation, a pair of 5-second violations forced by this Texas defense.
TCU is shooting 25%. I know 23%. That's why they're losing. Oh, that didn't help. Their chins look different. Well, I didn't say they were twins. Yeah, I think it's the high cheekbones and they have nice eyes. They look. I don't know. I thought they looked alike. I don't normally notice things like that, but when it jumped out at me when I saw her, I said, "Oh, that's not Gabby Marshall. She graduated." That's her right there. That's Donovan Hunter right there. They just showed her on the screen. It's number 4. She's even built similar to her. She's a little taller. She's 6 foot. According, she's listed at 6 foot. I don't know if she is 6 foot. But. Yeah, I haven't looked up, I suppose if you go look up Instagram accounts, you could get better photos of them to see if they really look alike. But it's just kind of, the game's kind of boring to me right now. There's no scoring here. Come on, Haley, do something. It's your last year. Prince will have to have a big game. Yeah, definitely Prince. Prince is going to have to have a big game every game because I think they don't have the depth. I just don't think they're, they got that much talent compared to Texas has more depth. That's her right there. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Haley will warm up. she doesn't usually play a whole game that she plays poorly. So we'll see what happens. Is this another woman that kicks butt? Drop. That's the name of a movie, Drop.
Seeing the way Aflac helps close the gap left by health insurance. Watch this. Aflac does pay people money for expenses not covered by health insurance.
One day I'll be a parent. I'll never let my child go to a public school having these disgusting people shoving homosexual and transgender in it. And my child do be swallowing teeth.
We got now.
Boro, I just saw your comment. I need to watch something till 4th. I'll never make it through the UConn game. I think the UConn game is going to be a blowout, but we'll see. Like I said, those freshmen, maybe they stand. They have big games again. I don't know.
Switch to T-Mobile and get all the benefits of their plan for saving 20%. T-Mobile blows the competition away.
T-Mobile will also give you up to $800 when you switch.
Mine, blow. Start a jet engine. Go to T-Mobile.com. See how families can save 20% and $800. That's right.
Now Bobby's going to start a false rumor that I'm obsessed with Mick. I did a video because he had the action figure. I didn't make the action figure. So you guys are going to just repeat that 100 times to try to get under my skin? Is that what you're going to do? My God. I don't listen to his channel as much as I listen to other channels.
A successful start in the SEC. They've reached the Elite Eight in 4 of the last 5 years, but the previous 3 trips.
Yeah, I just ran out of scotch, and I forgot to go to the store today. I could use some scotch right now to deal with you guys.
7 of the last 8 Elite Eights for this time at Mississippi State prior to taking the Texas job. I think the best thing you can say about Vic this year, 11-0 in single-digit games. He makes the right moves when it matters. And it's been a good start for Texas so far. Their defense has stifled TCU. Booker and Harvey have been as good as anticipated instead of Prince swooping in for the big play.
That was a good block.
This is just a great job by Sedona Prince to rotate over and help at the rim. 6'7", a tremendous shot blocker. See if that's a turning point for TCU. Looks like rebound. I don't know who's got it. Van Flick and Prince yet to score. 13 minutes into the game. They have just 1 2-pointer.
And it's now defended by Preston and one for Haley.
And she's like, okay, I'm all right now. Here we go. Really good
Finally,
by Sedona.
make the cheerleaders happy.
Right here. And then the hard roll creates some separation and space for Haley Van Lent to get downhill.
That's a nice strong drive to the basket.
Well-documented story now in the 5th year at 3
Get Haley going.
goals spent the summer with USA.
You know, they're only down by 5. It's just that they're not scoring.
3-on-3 competition has set a new school assist record and a scoring record in her only season here in Fort Worth. Here's Preston off the hesitation. Jones gets the rebound and then draws a foul as it goes on Prince. Preston's ability to get downhill and force rotation opens up the offensive glass for Vic Schaefer's team. 43% of their misses, they offensive rebound. According to her hoop stats, that's number 3 in the nation. That's an impressive number. One of Vic Schaefer's mattress to his kids today. Kate Prince Gardas, and that's what Jones did there. Hey, come on next. ESPN and the app, it's the last Elite 8 showdown. The 2 seed UConn, the 1 seed USC for that last spot in the Final Four. That follows us.
Hunter is empirically a little better looking than Gabby. It's probably true.
The last 2 games for Connecticut. TCU are having all kinds of trouble with the full court press.
Haley is a good-looking girl. Okay, the other Gabby. Okay, the other Gabby. Oh, the other Gabby's good-looking too. They both are. Yeah, I don't think that was Haley's fault. That was just Caitlin Clark being on fire. Haley put an effort in there. She's shorter than Caitlin, too. I don't think it was the right game plan, but hey, glad they made them a mistake because I'm glad that Iowa won. Yeah.
This is with the 2 freshmen and Harmon, who is a senior, but has now announced publicly her intentions to stay or go. Connor with the pull-up. Good job on the skip.
Connor can score. She needs to get hot if they're going to win. So.
Texas only allowing opponents 3 per night. She wants to be a scorer this evening, and she is on 11 now for Lori, already above her season average for a full 4. Texas only allowing opponents 3 per night. She wants to be a scorer this evening, and she is on 11 now for Lori, already above her season average for a full 40 minutes.
Rory Harmon, I never really noticed her before this game. I played watch Texas. Hunter's got a quick release on her pass. She did that twice now.
Jones. Preston needs to take that shot. She's capable of making that. The drive to the left side and out. Coming up was been a rebounding machine. Prince blocked by Jones. Sedona still scoreless. Just 2 shots in the first half.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't seem like they have enough offense to win this game. But it's not like Texas is burning up the scoring a lot of points either.
Universal Pictures drop. Only in theaters April 11th.
Feel it. It's down to the wire. And that thin sheet of ice you find yourself on is called the playoff push. Rangers, that was their favorite Penguins
I don't even know who those people are. Michael, never even heard of him.
Final Four on ESPN.
You know what I say? It's a different kind of adrenaline rush. This is the peak of women's basketball right here. Anytime I achieve my goal, is never enough. I really want to win a national championship. I've always hated losing more than I love winning. We have to have intensity.
So I said in a video today that Flajay Johnson was more exciting than Juju Watkins. Not better, just more exciting. And someone said, there's no way Juju Watkins isn't more exciting than Flajay Johnson. What do you guys think? Who's more an exciting player, Flajay Johnson or Juju Watkins, if she's healthy? That's my question.
Will set the table for that matchup, which is coming up at 9 o'clock. In terms of this one, I mean, that Texas defense has just been legit. I'm just so impressed with Texas' balance. Not necessarily scoring, because Rory is leading the way, but the way Texas plays so hard on the defensive end, but then so calm and poised and almost effortless on the offensive end. Good balance there.
We knew what to expect with Texas defense, but I'm impressed by the offense. They're going to lead Rory Harmon, and she's making them pay already 11 points. And did you see Maddie Booker's jumpers just here in the
It's pretty bad. The halftime score here, 14-23. Again, Madison Booker, she never comes up big whenever I watch her. She's got good numbers, so I can't say she's lousy. Just I don't see her as a first-team All-American. 2 for 7.
4:17 to go, and that Texas defense has indeed kept the Stars going.
I don't know.
Just 1 of 5 so far, getting with 4 turnovers.
Madison Booker, she never comes up big when I watch her.
Rory Harmon goes on the ball, gets through the screen.
And I tend to come up, watch their better games, their bigger games. But she's shooting like really high from threes percentage. So what did I look up? It was she shot 41% from threes this year, 46%. But never seems to have a good game when I watch it. I think if you're in women's basketball at the college level, if you have women that can create their own shots, I think you're at a big advantage. Because I don't think it's that common. It's more common in the WNBA, but even then it's not that common. Have you guys heard that criticism that Caitlin Clark can't create her own shot?
Nobody had any serious trouble yet. This is where a situation where offense matters. You have to be really good on your baseline out of bounds stuff.
Anybody still out there?
You get to execute the shot you want, not the one Texas is going to dictate the game.
Anyway. That's off.
And this time they're going to say Agnes went over the back of the first. No rhythm for TCU, and the Texas defense is taken away. Even as good a three-point shooting team as TCU is, they're rushing on those skip passes.
All right, it's not a very exciting game, is it?
They are just 2 of 13. This is a top 10 three-point shooting team in the country in terms of makes and.
I thought maybe everybody just died because I had no comments for 7 minutes. That's interesting. They can't do anything in transition because they've gotten enough stops to get transition. It shows you they're not running fast enough and that Texas is playing really good defense.
Looking for more. So Pitts with the goal, the 30. See how deep that dribble drive penetration gets that shot? That's an easy 6-7 foot shot for Roy Hubbard. It's just capable of taking it. Look at the scores. It's good for TCU. They are still well within reach. Texas has not been able to extend it or bust it open. Taylor goes a chance. There we go. Mismatch and transition. Get small player on that. Harmon wide open. And knock it down. And a one and done. Texas now 2 for their last 10. EST is so good. Shot clock winding down again. Van Wolf finds a shooter in the corner. Prince, weak side, gets him another look. Approaching 1 minute to go. Van Wolf, the left-hander, wide open, and that one goes down. A little more time.
It's going down by 6.
Swing, swing.
There seems to be a lot of indication that people are born gay. Not everyone, but most of the people that are gay.
This is right here, 2-on-1 advantage off the offensive rebound. It's a really nice job of running down a good shot for a better shot in the corner by Van Wolf. There's a backdoor and a nice feed by Chris. You have to fight the pressure a little bit. This is just a great slip right here by Hunter to get to the rim and draw a foul. So Hunter, the sophomore out of Metro Oregon, started up there at Oregon State. Had a career high in the second round against Louisville. 18 points and 4 triples. Despite all the struggles, TCU is right there.
Well, my eldest brother's gay, and there's 6 of us in the family. None of us are gay besides him. So we have the same exact environment.
Pulls up, contested shot, Prince rebounds. Switch out going under. You gotta know the personnel and know the scout. One shot to end the half. Last possession. Van Wolf will take it.
Man, Lith is warming up. They're only down by 2.
TCU. And it is a 2-point ball game in the Elite Eight with 20 minutes to go for the Final Four. Turnover more troubles the whole way, and TCU rallies as we get it over to Angel with Rory Harmon.
Also on the defensive end, you forced them to 10 turnovers in the first quarter. It was different for your defense in the second. What must change to pick up in the second?
Yeah, our defense is always going to be good, but we're relaxing right now. We're relaxing, taking plays off. So I think if we pick it back up, which we will this third quarter, will be fun.
You're the only player in double figures in this ballgame. What do you like about your team's looks through the first half?
You know, we're all going to get looks. We just got to knock them down. I beat the offsides all the time, but we just got to knock them down. What's the move?
Thanks, Rick.
She's only 5 for 13, though. She's taking a lot of shots. That's why she's in double figures. Madison Booker, 2 for 8. Again, I'm bad luck for her. Is she really first team All-American over Tania Lotson? I don't know. I am not convinced that was the right call for first team All-American Madison Booker over Tania Lotson. I would have voted for Tania Lotson. So.
We talked about Texas barbecue, but we're from Atlanta, okay? And we like our hash browns the same way Texas likes their defense, smothered and covered. Yeah, I mean, you know the reference? I mean, we keep that in Texas too. Do you? Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, just making sure. The defense has been incredible by Texas. This one we were coming out and I was like, TCU looks so tired because they have to work so hard on the offensive end. And Texas was also able to convert some of their defensive possessions into offense. You see, they get the turnover here. Now they're in transition. Madison Booker draws the defense in. Rory Harmon left open. Not an excellent three-point shooter. Still has the confidence to knock it down, but it started with the defense. And then here, high ball pressure, active. This is what Texas is known for.
Yeah, when you heard Rory Harmon just here said, we're going to get her shot. We just have to knock it down. That's exactly what she did. She's 27% for three, so she knows she has to be able to put it in the basket. And when we watch this right here, her mid-range, her tempo was great. She's only hit 10 threes all year long. So for her to be aggressive, knowing that she's the player that they're going to leave open, it was a good sign.
I got to turn it down for this halftime show. I don't listen. Those two, I don't like those three women.
And you find yourself only up 2 points going into the half.
It's extremely frustrating, but I do like the response. You heard Mark Campbell in the second quarter say, I need my team to be more physical. I need them to be more aggressive. And we saw that Haley Van Lith got the message. Look how aggressive she is off the bounce. She's dribbling with force. She keeps them. This is her strong hand and one side. I love this. And this actually, you know, when you score on the inside, it gives you more confidence on the outside.
I like Haley. She's got moxie.
There's a beautiful pass. Here they get the offensive rebound. And this is the best time my coach always told me, hey, when you get in the board, look for three. Wide open. This is the best look she got because she's relentless. And so I love her response in the second.
And the thing about Haley Van Lith is when she senses the other team relax. Talk about it in the Notre Dame game. She senses the other team relax. She digs deeper. Even if she's exhausted, she played every minute of that first half. She's being checked everywhere. She's being denied everywhere. The way Haley Van Lith can find another gear and dig deeper even when she's exhausted makes her special.
Her teammates need to do the exact same thing because in the last game, 4 out of their 5 starters played 37+ minutes, and you saw that lingering over in the first quarter.
Since we're talking about that last game, as we go to play a break on Haley Van Lith, she got better with time. She had 18 of her 26 points coming in the second half alone. TCU making their way back down 2 at the half.
This halftime report is presented by the new Shea Moisture Body Wash Collection. Delivers 24 hours of visible moisture so you can show that glow. It's equipment and BPR on GBAB.
I've been talking about what I hate to be here. My work, my sweat, my time.
But what about everything I took?
They're stomping, they're yelling, their noise takes time, comments, their love. I took everything from them.
And now when I'm out there, all I hear is ball.
Some people just know they can
by checking Allstate first. You might need to check first that you want seats in the right section. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
All right. See you later, Aquaman. Independent Aquaman. See you later. Go Fever. Yeah, we'll see. First game is what was it? May 17th, but the preseason starts, I think, 2 weeks before that. So it's only about a month away for the preseason game, a little bit more. I think it was May 3rd or something. So maybe 5 weeks away. Counting down the days to see King Clark live. Paige Beckers. We'll see how she plays tonight.
We're so close. You know, Kiki Finn only had 7 points in their Sweet 16 matchup, but that could portend good things. Because the last time she scored in single digits, she bounced back and dropped a 20-point double. That's crazy. She's shooting 53% from 3 right now in this tournament. She had 10 in their Sweet 16 win over Oklahoma, but then again, they didn't need much from her when Paige Beckers decided to score half the points for UConn. Again, you can't say it enough what an amazing performance that was.
Yeah, I feel like we all are on the same page. This is going to be cinema. This is going to be popcorn because after dropping 34 and then following that up with 40, people are going to want to tune in and see what will Paige Beckers do next.
What will Paige Beckers do next? We'll see. She had 2 good games in a row. But
the aggressive mindset for Paige Beckers these last 2 games is huge for this UConn team. And really, as you look forward, if USC starts to hone in on Paige Beckers, send 2 to her, she's got pieces around her that can make them pay for doing so. You just talked about AZ Bud shooting. We haven't talked about Sarah Strong, Ashley Shea. There's so many pieces. So a lot of questions for USC. Their freshmen played phenomenal. Can they get Kiki Iriafen involved? And can they lean on their defense to pull off this upset? You guys didn't love the shot selection in that Sweet 16 matchup, rather. Again, that game is coming up after the conclusion of this one right there on ESPN.
we'll see what happens. But this is kind of a boring game, but at least it's close. Yeah, Madison Booker. Again, 2 for 8, right? What is she?
Introducing Shea Moisture
All right.
Body Wash, powered by Shea Emulsion Technology, delivering more moisturizing shea droplets with every wash. It leaves your skin visibly moisturized.
Let's see. Madison Booker.
That glow.
Yeah, Connor needs to get going too. She's 2 for 6. She can score. Madison Booker 2 for 8.
We got now.
That's Gabby Thomas is in that commercial. You guys were talking about Gabby Thomas.
The authentic, you bring easy, unexpected, and open heart and true beauty, laughter, the laughter. In a world
There are so many ways this story can go. There's the one you're never going to forget, and the one you wish you could forget. The one you tell every year. And one that ends with you on a flight home crying as a baby in front of a baby. Whether you're moving on or going home, there are no fees to change your flight.
They say a lot without having to say much. Even a little can go a long way.
Wish I bought Dixie. These store bread for hard work and some heartbreak. Oh no! Never buying again. Get Dixie Ultra Quick. 3 times stronger than a heating store bread. Dixie, make it work.
Game time comes with enough pressure. Too often, people are betting on sports, losing, and taking it out on the athlete. Only a loser will harass college athletes at the losing event. But it happens almost every day. Root for your team. Get crazy when the buzzer stops. But don't harass anyone because you lost the bet. It's time we draw the line and put an end to the abuse. Brought to you by the NCAA.
This halftime report is presented by the new Shea Moisture Body Wash Collection. Delivers 24 hours of durable moisture so you can show that glow. Halftime is already set. UCLA awaits their opponents. A reminder as well. Irresistible take South Carolina being a team on ESPN. And as far as UCLA, they will await the winner of the next game, UConn at USC. That game will start 9. Just, we like to get back something late, too. Let's not put the cards on the board. We have to really matter of finding out who those opponents will be. Rory Carmen, right now, 11, the only second player in double digits. You've got to get her team in harmony. Thanks for watching Shane Witcher halftime report. On the way out. Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay. A little popcorn action. There's only 12 of us. I hope this is a more exciting second half than it was the first half.
Also works. Here's another tip from the tool shed. Not a bracket. We have our L brackets, our heavy duty brackets, our decorative brackets. What are you working on?
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
If you can't afford a new home, now's the time to take your shot. Score Lennar's very best deals of the season during Savings Madness. Lennar offers quality construction.
If this game's not good, I doubt the second one is, but we'll see.
Even more desirable features at no cost. At Lennar, owning a home is in the long run. These math savings are available for a limited time only. Schedule a tour.
I have to close these streets.
Start advertising your servers.
We had a nice day today here, but I didn't get out much. What kind of weather you guys got?
Welcome back to the Casey. Defenses ruled the day through the first 20 minutes. It is a 2-point ball game. 23-21 Texas over TCU. Rory Harmon and Haley Van Lip going head-to-head for a spot in the Final Four and a date in the national semifinals against South Carolina next weekend. Hey, everybody, Beth Collins, Debbie Antonelli, Angel Gray, Rory Harmon, really the one great spot offensively in that first half for either side, Debbie. I mean, she's the point of attack on defense, and she was the most aggressive by far on the offensive end. Now it's time to get more. Brought to you by Geico. Rory Harmon on the defensive end anticipates, steals, bucket. On this end of the floor, mid-range jumper in transition, bucket. How about this right here? You're not going to guard me. I'm going to close down the space with a dribble, and then from 3-point range, her 11th triple of the entire season. How about our first half stats brought to you by PC Ultra Plates? Fewest scoring half in a season for TCU. That's hit her last couple of shots. Rory, 13 of the 23 points. Texas Debbie did not score in the paint in that second quarter, while TCU did not have a turnover in those final 7 minutes. So things took a turn heading into the locker room. Momentum with the women in purple. 20 minutes to go for the Final Four. I gotta believe we're gonna see a heavy dose.
What's up, KB8 Killa?
And there she is on the slice cut. Nice off-screen, vintage Texas. Jody Conrad basketball right there. Gets a touch inside for the bucket. Texas trying to get back to the Final Four since the days of Jody. Last time was 2003. And for TCU, history in the making if they can get to the Final Four.
Rob's working. He'll be here Thursday night.
Taken away by Jones. Sedona Prince was scoreless in that first half. And look at TJ on
Sedona Prince was scoreless. No wonder they're losing. No wonder she didn't make All-American. 0 for 2 and 1 block. That's it. 5 rebounds. Yeah, Rob's working. Oh my gosh, facial.
This is just a really good job by Taylor Jones with the 2 fouls to stay aggressive. You got to go rim, body, ball. That keeps you away from the shot blocker.
What's the height? What's her height? What's her number?
She does. Gives it up from Megan Canada, and a nice box out by Jonathan Hunter to keep Booker away. Good job, I'll say, Howard, to get back in transition and locate Connor, the 3-point shooter. And Prince side looking for her first basket and a foul. Let's get it over to Angel Gray.
I don't see Sedona Prince making the WNBA. Is she any better than what's her name?
And they certainly like seeing that one go through the nets. The first point for Prince tonight. How about Mark Campbell's team ran their offense on the top of the floor? They never really got vertical to the paint unless they got inside and set up their 3-point shooting. That's how they made their threes. The last possession, Haley Van Lane got the screen almost to the wing to the slot below the top of the floor. That's going to even there a chance now for TCU to tie it or take their first lead tonight? Down by as many as 9. And clear it out. They got a 2-man naked side with Van Lent.
That's what happened. You let a team hang on, and your offense isn't any good either.
Forces the fade, and there's Booker with the board on the push. Here comes the point forward, right down the lane.
Booker finally did something.
What a beautiful take in transition. She played some point guard last year when Lori Harlan was out.
And the only activist I know about her is that she's been accused of assault by 2 women so far.
The layup game warning on Texas. That's their first. Rory was adjusting the knee brace from her knee injury last year. Former All-American and Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. She's the first homeborn in history with over 1,200 points and 700 assists. Number 2 all-time passing. The drive gets it. That's how tough this one can be tough tonight. You want to turn the corner on Texas and be ready to make a play. 3 minutes into this third quarter. The door puts another coming out the ball over. Jamming up the inside. Oh, nice. Dribble goes to the left and scores. Makes the dribble in. Come in, big girl. 6-6. And a steal by Booker. Feed the ball maker. Off the front of the rim with a missed opportunity for Texas. Baker with that relaxing defensive mode. Again, forcing their offense way out above the top of the key. This is coming at you full speed right here. Booker snatches the glass. Nobody stops the ball. She crosses up in transition. Olmaker provides just enough interference. And then what a nice fake the dribble handoff. Beautifully done. 6'6" junior out of Mason, Ohio, transferred in from Miami. That's a tough pass for Prince. To stay down don't lead. Texas defense doing a really good job guarding ball screen offense. They hard hedge, they poke at the hedge. They've really been disruptive. Displays on Mason. Booker, in and out. And has it. Bailey on the drive, switch to the left and around and out. This hesitation step right here. Still hefty and absorbs the contact. Oh, everybody he's around. Going to the line, an 82% free throw shooter. Has been to the Final Four during the days of Louisville. To the Elite Eight last year, one stop at LSU. And is having the time of her life this season, overcoming, she's talked about mental health struggles that she's had through her career. Enjoying the journey. And the tattoo on her arm that says the journey is the dream, and a part of breaking new ground.
with TCU women's basketball this year. That's going to be a foul on Texas on the miss.
Who do you guys think is better? Sedona Prince or Monica Zazano? Because Monica Zazano didn't make the WNBA. She had those AB hands out there. Sedona Prince or Monica Zazano? Monica Zazano made all first team all conference. She never made All American.
This year, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of close games. When you look through the SEC the way he did, share the regular season with South Carolina, that's an impressive run for the first-year team in the SEC. Just to make the adjustments. Saturday with the speed, he needed the two freshmen on the perimeter.
I think Monica Zazano is better than her. I don't see Prince making it.
Immediately goes to work. That's the play I'm talking about. That down the lane run. Under 5 to go. Let's send it back to the studio. More court while we await. Under 5 in the third. Immediately go.
Yeah, I'm just a thought because Monica Zazano was at least all conference twice. I mean,
No, I get that. It's just when there's a jet and explosion behind this, maybe it's not the best time to walk in slow motion.
It's the only time to walk in slow motion.
I'm trying to get better at your footwork. Yes. Limits, no chopping. You need to stretch. I am stretching.
We right here, let's go! Come on, Chelsea!
That's a beautiful shot. Well, how about you be my trainer? Oh, I like that one. You said it. I see why they call Satsui uniforms. It's just that she's left-handed, but she likes to go right. That's tough. Well, that look good.
I can't believe these poker types are still calling each other rock stars.
You're a rock star.
We're all rock stars.
Ooh, I'll take you to the next side. Thank you!
You keep it down. More.
You people are battle.
Hand over there.
so Monica Zazano was 4-time first team All Big Ten and a 2-time honorable mention All American. Let me see how tall Monica Zazano is. She's listed at 6'3".
Watch Madness, Final Four on ESPN.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of all art. Any other use of this telecast or any picture descriptions or accounts of the game that the NCAA consent is prohibited.
The NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One is brought to you by Nissan. Powerful.
Yeah, she's 6'7". She's 4 inches. Yeah, she's 4 inches taller. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she'll probably make it because of her height, but I'm just not over impressed with her. They like big size in the WNBA.
In 10 different cities around the country, hoping to make Tampa her next stop. 10 points and 5 rebounds so far tonight. She's been a winner everywhere she's been. Every team she's been on, she's taken to the NCAA tournament. And deeper to the tournament.
Probably like
4 Elite Eights.
she could be a backup for an expansion team or something like that. I don't see her starting. Look at this, a 1-point game.
Well, ladies, and she told me of all the Elite Eights, this was the most gratifying for her because she's learned husband, who was coach said a couple of games in, they had to come to do this moment. She had to discuss their role. He said that she loves the game so much that he felt like she had to prove herself with a walking bucket. He said, I have to make sure that the shift was Haley the 2004 to now a playmaker and facilitator who see the result. Old Lakers at the block and denies TCU a chance to take the lead. And it's Rory Harmony racing to the other end. Uh-oh. Booker isolated one-on-one. High off the window. Uh-oh. You can see that one coming.
CZ got a lot of easy shots. Yeah, I mean, Caitlin Clark makes everyone look better. Hannah Stokey's numbers went down this year, and I'm sure she's a better player than she was last year. Like her shooting percentage went down because she didn't get as many easy shots. I might get my big Booker. Yeah, I don't know what to say. just doesn't seem like a first-team All-American to me, but she must have some talent. Just doesn't. I don't see it.
Both these teams met the Gamecocks in the regular season. Texas lost 2 of 3, including the SEC championship game. They were co-champs in the regular season. They just keep pushing them further and further away from the bucket. Van List, no, and a foul. It'll be on Clemson. Their third. TCU, their meeting in December, hosting the Gamecocks, did not go.
She'll be 25 years old this May. Yeah, it seems like she'll make a roster because she's 6'7", but she won't start. She'll make a roster on a weaker team or something like that. But what is a big booger game? Booker. He said Booker. I said she never seems to have a good game when I watch her. I said I'm not doubting that she's a good player. I just never see it. She's come up small, and I've watched some of her, the more competitive games they've had, and she's never played well. But I haven't watched them that many times. Ack Nation must be watching the same games because he said the same thing. It was in the beginning of our broadcast.
Yeah, that's a foul. She reached in on the arm. What's the screening effort of Texas right in on the arm? They get to the hole. This is just a nice job by Rory Harmon to be patient and set her up. Very well done. You can't let the ball come inbound over the basket like that. You need to have somebody that has a better angle to take that pass away. That completes the 3-point play. The 4-point press again.
That is a nice steal. Bad pass, maybe.
Holly right on Connor to not allow Van Lith to advance pass. No easy baskets tonight. The head is so big, Van Lith.
When I see these low-scoring games, I have a hard time figuring out what percentage of it is good defense, what percentage of his bad offense and what percentages the refs aren't calling the game tight enough. In other words, there's defense that are fouls that are looks like it's good defense when they're just fouls that aren't called. Yeah, you're right. Prince is slower than Shazana with your foot speed. If I was 6'7", I could make it in the WNBA. Well, we might have a close game at least, even though it's a boring game.
They are top 10 in the country in free throw makes and attempts. It's 5 for 7 so far for Texas. They're looking to check in. So Texas get the ball game back up. Use any time out to be in that situation where the 5-second thing is going down. He's saying that he knows he needs it. Prince calling for it and receiving. And Sedona
Prince actually scored.
and her first basket of the night.
6'7", it's your first basket of the night. My God.
Scored 21 in the Sweet 16. Lee, pretty spin move. Not the finish. And then taken away by Montana.
That's happened to her more than once. The ball got taken away from Prince.
Confidence. She made 3 against Tennessee, the only 3 3-point targets of the game for Texas. That's a lot of separation in a game like this. The 6-point lead, 2 possessions, the way Texas has defended.
Hallie Van Lith never skips legs days. Yeah, she looks like she works out. I think she thought she got fouled.
Right here. Screen, roll. Taylor Jones waits, Prince scores. And then off the offensive rebound, wide open, Jordan Lee. I think she may have gotten popped in the nose on one of those spin moves trying to defend Van Lith.
Turnover day.
Going over to the Texas bench here. Shot clock is off for the Longhorns to try and finish this third quarter. Good substitution.
Bad luck for Booker. Or she doesn't come up big in big games that often. What is she shooting right now? There you go. There's Booker. It's warming up.
Acceleration off the baseline screening action into her right hand. It is so well done. And Hunter takes away her landing spot. It's a good foul. A good call on the foul. Patty Booker now with 11.
Booker's 5 for 12 with 12 points and 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Hasn't made a free 3. Down by 9 now. Ugh.
We'll check with Vic Schaefer when we come back
Someone asked if there was upsets. Let me look at the bracket. See how many upsets there was, because there were. How many upsets there were? How many upsets there were?
Parking is hard to find. Seems like everyone drives. And those who do should switch to Geico because you can save hundreds on car insurance.
Let's see.
Hello, evening, sir. Here's the keys.
Okay.
Right, mate.
Are we counting 8-9 as an upset or not?
Switch and save. Get more root gas.
All right. Let me wash my hands.
Innovation changes everything. With one investment, you can access the NASDAQ 100 innovators who are reshaping the world. Before investing for safety and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more. Just practice at invesco.com.
I teach the art of fan art, a job I take seriously. To answer the question of nature versus nurture, is a fan born or is a fan made? I know this. Nowadays, can make a fan out of anyone.
Oh, here we are. Okay. I'm back.
The NCAA championships, attendance is encouraged, action is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
At we have put people at the center. That's how every TV employee helps make our bank the greet you and your dog the same, open longer when you need us kind of place. Because believing people matter most is how we're making the team unexpectedly huge.
Yeah, TCU has to make some headway here because they're not scoring in bunches in the early fourth quarter. I agree with you. Okay. 9 versus 8. Yeah, right.
Texas closes out the third quarter behind the play. Maddie Booker on a 10-2 run. Fourth is coming up. Our coach interview was brought to you by Symetra. Maddie Booker had a nice and-one here, but you've had some incredible moments from Kyle Oldacre as well as Jordan Lee. How would you describe their minutes in the third?
Well, we got in the press. Top player, big kid like Oldacre, playing that hard. I mean, how can you not be inspired by that? But our offensive execution was better down the stretch. Look, we got plenty of shots in the first half. You got to make a shot.
Defensively, you held TCU to 25% from the field. You said, I'm never pleased, though. What more do you want to close?
Yeah, just the fundamentals. We don't need to have any fundamental mistakes, helping off shooters. We got to be solid. We got one person that's dictating the tempo over there. We got to deal with it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, first Lord's on the moment.
Thank you, Angel. How about that finish offensively for Texas State? Well, this has been their best quarter. They have shot 47%. They have screen to start the quarter to get Jones going on the inside. Texas classic. And then nice ball screen right here, Shea Holly opening up Linintenda to be able to score inside. And then this is just Booker running hard off a couple baseline screens into her right hand. And her elevation is beautifully done by the All-American. Logan Roy with 23 points to the TCU Big Three with 22 points. As we head to the fourth quarter, the winner has South Carolina in the national semifinals, the Final Four in Tampa. Really done with the TCU trying to continue their magical ride this season, the best in school history. Will end with the first ever trip to the Final Four. The Niners, 3-ball. They had it through the door screens. Well done.
All right, well, they needed that.
Perfect execution by TCU. For the Texas Longhorns, one of the more storied programs in the sport, but it's been 22 years since they've been to the Final Four. Some of these Horns have tried 3 times to break through the Elite Eight and have come up short. This perhaps her best chances of winning seed. Loose ball knocked around. Oldacre beats the shot clock buzzer. Terrific recognition to see the shot clock. They're going to get an offensive foul on TCU before the inbound on Van Lith. Watch Connor right here, the best three-point shooter by May. She's under the basket. She's going to come through here like this, through the door screens. This is so well done by TCU. Totally takes Lee out. Connor, she gets some confidence from that. That is her first triple, the fourth for TCU. And a missed layup on a well-executed inbounds. Said that. I go right back to the same thing. They had a Horns entry and then ran the door screen. Worked perfectly for them. Didn't really touch. Reject. 5 on the shot clock. Harmon defending. And Lori whistled and called for the block. And look like she had position to stay on her feet, Debbie, but then decided to try and take the shot. I mean, I thought she might reject the quick screen anyway. She had a lane line drive. This is where you got to be tough, Deb. You got to have. You got to be really strong with the ball. You got to be smart mentally. You can't have any game slippage, any leak in your detail. It's got to be good. Look at Oldacre. Oh, look at the pass away. Look at taking the distance.
Nice play.
Have any game slippage, any leak in your detail. It's got to be good. Look at Oldacre. Oh, look at the pass away. Look at taking the distance.
A lot of body walk going down there.
This is like an offensive lineman picking up the ball and running to the house. A little rumbling and stumbling right here by the 6'6" Oldacre. Wow. But you can't play here when the game.
Yeah, it was a good play.
And it features more post play for Vic Silver. He's got 7 points and is outscoring Prince tonight. But it's hard to came over to help and then brought the arms down on the shooter for the foul. Watch the big girl up the line, overplaying in the handle. What do we say? What's on? The line scrimmage? That's a pick 6 right there, baby. That's a pick 6. Look at that reaction from Texas. Big girl getting it done. Van Lith gets on the free throw.
Lady Shack.
Haley down with 13.
Uh,
Trying to get the deficit back into single digits still. 2 minutes gone in this fourth quarter. Still to come tonight. Heading out west, UConn and USC, the last Elite 8 showdown. Big shape for center.
Booker's warming up.
Booker's were in good shape. Well, Booker's made several of those.
God.
Turnover, TCU. Danny Booker, 14 points, 6 rebounds. Shane Harmon combined for 25 tonight. TCU's going to have to get some stops right now. And this is what Rory Harmon is so good, managing the clock. And when you have an All-American that you can go deeper to the shot clock, it can get you a bucket. Those baseline screens are so tough to defend because you can rocket trail behind them, but she elevates into her jumper in that 6'1" frame so easily. Slow step right there, but that's 4 now on Harmon. So Harmon for Texas with 4. Prince with TCU has 4. And Harmon will come out for Blue Preston. Haley Bailiff has drawn 5 fouls on the Texas defense.
It's got a special whistle.
ESPN NBA Wednesday doubleheader for you. From the Eastern Conference, the Cavs next, then out west for the Thunder and the Pistons. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 6:30 Eastern. And with 7 of 8 in the free throw line tonight. It's back to the 10-point game. So how was Preston now? The freshman running the point. She was spectacular in the Sweet 16. Big responsibilities here for the Longhorns. Number 1 in white. And Manopu in a no-help situation on Booker. Preston, open look. Weak side, it's over again. Defender fell on the play.
Donovan Hunter will be first team All-American for aesthetic reasons. That should never make the league. Oh, wow.
The 7th-year senior who started her career at Texas.
7th-year senior. How do you...
Playing in 4 of those 7 seasons on the 40 acres and then at Oregon and now at TCU.
How'd she get 7 years?
The Corn Frogs will have to go the rest of the way around and put her immediately with a fade. She's got
Missed that shot.
now at TCU.
Booker's warming up. She must have heard me.
Fresh legs on Haley Bailiff here in the 4th. Bailiff short. Long rebound to Preston. Dick Schaefer can't talk enough about his freshman. He loves Drew Preston. He puts the work in before practice and after practice. And wants to be really good. Texas, the luxury of having a go-to scorer like Matty Booker. Preston, the assist, Maker, the bucket. And Texas starting to pull away here in the 4th.
Oh, come on, Haley, do something. Connor. Texas does play good defense.
Good job by Preston right here to take up the space because they're sagging
You
off.
took 7 years too, but you weren't on the team.
And drop it off. What a game for Oldacre.
Well, how did she get so much eligibility? Did she must have had like a injury year and a COVID year. What was a 3rd year for? So,
This Texas defense has tonight. They have kept the big three in check.
Haley Van Lith, I think will make it in the WNBA. I don't think she'll ever be a starter. I think she's got enough talent to make a team. Yeah, I'm not sold on Sedona Prince. Like I said, she may be like 11th or 12th person on a bad team or something. But Haley Van Lith, I think, will make it in the WNBA. I just don't think she'll ever be a starter. I don't think she's quite talented enough, but she's good enough to make it in the WNBA.
Three previous trips to the Final Four, including the 1986 National Championship under the legendary head coach Jordy Conrad. Under 5 to go.
So who's this woman that was beginning this playing while number 00? She's 6'6", junior. Kyle Adekar. She averages 17 minutes a game and 9 points and 6 rebounds. Oh, okay. So, we'll see. I'm not saying she's going to be a big-time player. I just think she'll make a roster. But anyways, we'll find out next year. So I figured out that someone asked if there was upsets. And so I went and looked it up. And I don't know if a 9 versus 8 considered an upset, but there were 2 9 versus 8 upsets, 2 10 versus 7 upsets, 3 versus 5, 5 versus 4 upsets, and 1 3 versus 2 upset. So there was really no big upsets. The closest you can come is a 10-7 seed. There was 2 of those. There was no big upsets in women's. And these upsets are like, all right, so 7 where the higher seed didn't win, and 8, 9 I don't count because half the time the 9 seed almost, in men's at least, wins half the time. So let's say there's 5 upsets. And of those 5, 3 of them were only 1 seed apart, one number apart, 5-4 and 3-2. Not much of an upset. Cooper Flag. Stephen A. Smith doesn't pay attention to Cooper Flag for some reason. The WNBA draft is 2 weeks from tonight. Is it really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that was that soon. So all we'll hear about is mock drafts after tonight. Because all there is 2 games left, right? 3 games left, I guess, right? 4. We got 1 more tonight. That's Gabby Marshall. Gabby Thomas. What do you think the ratings will be compared to last year? We'll see the Caitlin Clark effect.
You know how hard it is to get here, and you know what you need from your team. Survive and advance. A 1 versus 2 showdown coming up next on ESPN.
Yeah, Cameron Brink.
Tied her career high with 34 in the second round, smashed it with 40 in the Sweet 16. The winner of that one tonight will be
She got injured just basically driving to the basket when nobody was covering her. I don't make laugh in front of her. I don't want to laugh in front of making fun of an ACL, but it just was bizarre.
Getting set to take on Area Fed. Of course, no Juju Watkins, the ACL injury earlier in the tournament knocked her out for Southern Cal. The only thing missing from the resume, Daddy, yeah, national championship ring. I mean, 6 times this year she's taken 20 or more shots. I hope that she takes a big number tonight. I think that's the difference in the game. If she wants to take over when she decides to take over. Preston continues to win the point. Harmon sitting with 4 fouls. Asian Maryland with a block. Sedona Prince has fouled out for TCU. So the big three is
Down by 12, and they've only scored 41 points in all this time. I don't see how they're going to do this, but
trying to keep the dream alive, and it's back to the free throw. Van Lith drawing her 8th foul of the night. And she's going to need a double ice back after this one. I'm going to take this one back. I'm going to take 2. It's been a physical game. 8 of 9 from the line. Muskie fans getting ready. We're going to have to hustle back and find a TV.
she's 3 for 13, though. The only reason she's got any points at all is the free throw line.
That 2003 Final 14 for Texas. A lot of those guys watching.
Yeah.
That great crew that featured the likes of Jamie Carey and Heather Schreiber, Tiffany Jackson, Stacey Stevens. Waiting for the legend, Jody Conrad in the house and hoping she's going to Tampa with Texas. Horns fans rising to their feet, sensing a big finish here. Booker can't turn back down. Still time for TCU. A bucket here to get it back over 10. Van Lith attacks going to the left side. Merrill fouled on the putback. Chance to inch closer, but no time gone off the clock. Well, this is what TCU wanted to do. Get them spread out. Get the ability to get the hole working. The last couple of possessions, the space has opened up a little bit more for Haley Van Lith. When Vic Schaefer sensing a possible change here, doesn't want this to get much closer. Harmon is back on the floor for the Longhorns. Merrill gets the first. They don't miss any of the Final Four this weekend on ABC and ESPN.
Got it down to 9.
NCAA.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Got game coverage for you, as well as the Bird and Taurasi show. The TCU fan base now rising as one. It's an 8-point game. Just want to put some game pressure on them.
Yeah, it's within striking distance. Just that they've been struggling to score. Good defense by Haley. He's got it down to 6. Made the cheerleaders happy. That's important. Go get some sleep. And I felt tired all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make it through that next game anyways, but
this is just a really good screen and roll. Look how open the middle of the floor is. Texas has been tagging from the weak side on that ball screen roll. If there was no one there that time to tell,
big woman.
The screen and running into
How
Holly.
tall is she? No, I turned my head.
The screen and running into Holly.
Merrill's only 6'1", it says. Booker again. Finally, Booker's played well.
stay at this end. Under 2 minutes for a spot in the Final Four.
Merrill looks taller than 6'1".
TCU has never been this far.
Booker's got 18 points, 8 for 17.
But now the officials are going to go to the scores table. We'll take a timeout.
Our Center frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. The best deal of all time. Gotta be Wendy's.
All right.
People seem to get upset that I'm everywhere. That's funny.
That's what she's listed. That doesn't mean the height's right. It says 6'1". I don't think that's right. That's unusual for them to be listed shorter than they are. It says 6'1" senior.
With millions of micro-moisture droplets. Try new Dove body wash.
I don't know how they. Close game. It's close enough to be in doubt. It would be interesting because TCU's been down the whole game. It'd be interesting to see if they can pull an upset.
Groceries are here.
Thanks, babe. Keep milk. Meet Coach Neil Ivy, the very definition of a player's coach. Coach Ivy takes care of the talent on her team the same way you take care of the talent on yours. Let our ex-
She got a commercial?
Meet Coach Neil Ivy, the very
Yell.
definition of a player's coach. Coach Ivy takes care of the talent on her team the same way you take care of the talent on yours. Let our expertise round out yours.
How'd she get a commercial?
Realize you need help with all that buzz.
Wow.
Connect with a QuickBooks Live expert. Get expert help. Step up.
Neil Ivy. Neil Ivy.
Into a QuickBooks.
I was trying to figure out how to pronounce her name.
The Knicks, they obviously elite offensively, but Cavaliers are so dominant. Shea Alexander is a leading candidate for MVP honors. He's having more than
We got it. Well, how much time is left? 150. Down by 8. That's a lot considering you can barely you have trouble scoring. It's not like they've been dropping a bunch of threes this game. They've got 4 threes, 4 for 19. Texas doesn't take threes. They only took 3 shots. That's unusual.
It looks like to me that it's off of Purple's fingertips right there. What's the speed of the ball's going to change when they let that play out? Microphone is not here to be out. The call on the floor has been reversed. White ball Alabama. So Lisa Miami right on top of that. The officials changed the call.
Oh, that's not good for TCU.
You see the thinking for the last couple of fingers there, big lead. Done by our Bruce, Felicia Winter, Billy Smith, Karen Plato tonight. Down the wire here in Birmingham. At Lawrence, Debbie Antonelli, Angel Gray, the winner goes to Tampa and the Final Four. Shea Holly through the door straight. Look at the big post up inside. They miss Taylor Jones. Rory Harmon gets the bucket. So good creating separation off the bounce. That's why she's back in the game. Booker and Harmon have combined for 31 tonight for Texas. The field pace picking up right here for TCU. They've been able to advance pass and find some transition. Myers short on the 3. Shea Holly coming out with it for Texas. 1 minute to go. TCU not choosing to foul. They'll pull good D, get a 3. Harmon takes the shot. With 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and then Texas gets the offensive rebound against a TCU team without their 6'7" center, Sonora Prince, who's fouled out. This is when you know that your team is good. When you check all the boxes and you can play anyway. The versatility of Texas we saw in the Tennessee game, playing with pace, minimize their bigs. Their freshmen were outstanding. And then the game slows down, and it's a lower scoring, low pace, featuring the bigs. And the bottom line is you have Madison Booker. She's an All-American. All the pieces were there for Texas and for Rick Schaefer, who was an assistant on a national championship team at Texas A&M.
I don't know.
As a head coach at Mississippi State twice in the Final Four, playing for the national championship. And now moments away from going back to fight for one with Texas. Van Lith doesn't get the bounce. Rebound Texas. Final 30 seconds.
Why shouldn't she drive to the basket or take a three? Why did she take a 2-point jumper?
In the top seed in the region. Will play a fourth game this year against.
Why didn't they foul like last time down the court? Now it's too late, but
Texas plays through. And on the reset after the shot clock violation. A 22-year drought will end in Austin. The emotion on Rory and Vic Schaefer is all over them. And there it is. It's back to the Final Four for the 48ers. As Texas knocks out TCU.
I don't know why they didn't start fouling with a minute left. Olivia Miles is not leaving.
Magical season for TCU comes to a close.
Really? Why would she want to transfer? She has a good chemistry with.
The greatest season in school history in Fort Worth, but the night belongs to Texas. And they become the third #1 seed to advance.
All right. Is the other game on the same channel?
58-47 is your final. Madison Booker, big second half. She finishes with 18 points, 6 rebounds. Lori Hartman, 13 points and 5 assists. They turn over TCU 21 times, resulting in 17 points off of takeaways. You see the embrace of Mark Campbell and Haley Van Lith. But ultimately, it was the Texas defense. They held TCU to 27% from the floor, as you mentioned the turnovers. Texas dominated the paint 24-8. And their bench, particularly Kyla Woolacre, did a fantastic job of providing a punch on the interior. This is a well put together Big Shaper team. 4 times against the Gamecocks is going to be fun in Tampa. Woolacre finishes with 9 points and 5 rebounds.
Well,
Best game of the year.
they never seem to be in the game.
Again from the freshman. Preston Salad filling in when Lori Hartman got into foul trouble in the fourth quarter. And how about the Capital One rewarding performance? Looks like a confetti band. Coach Schaefer.
Olivia Miles transferring and not entering the draft? I don't know.
What were you feeling, the emotions behind being your actual vet in year 2 for this team today? It feels good, yeah. It feels good to me, be able to tell them, who hasn't been in this moment yet, have fun with it. I mean, last year was more of like nerves for me and more of like wanting to win, and I didn't really have fun with it, but now I'm having fun with it now. I mean, it's fun. Like, you must have fun in it. And you get to do it alongside Rory Harmon, who came back from a long journey back from an ACL. How does it feel knowing that you have her with you in this team? How special to get to your first Final Four for the program in 22 years? I think, not knowing her last year, it was different. It's fun for me, playing a whole position, a whole new position, and just her sitting on the sidelines. And she was.
Notre Dame guard will forego the NBA draft and return to South Bend for a 5th season. But she's entering the portal, but I understand.
We saw the emotion as the time was ticking. What was running through your mind as you're down with the Final Four? Let me take a break there, guys. I just think about just going through, my recovery and coming back after 10 months. I just look at it like I said, I'm so proud of myself and I'm so proud of my team to get to this moment. I'm not saying look what I thought, but just to come out like I did and get to the Final Four like we did, it just means a lot to me. So it means a lot to see you guys on the floor. We'll see you in Tampa. Congratulations. Thank you so much. All the emotion from Rory Harmon and her head coach, Rick Schaefer, and the entire Texas program. They are indeed headed back to the Final Four in our first national semi.
We'll see.
Friday night, 7 Eastern on EST.
She may be. Yeah, it sounds like she's staying.
Our studio show presented by AT&T. We're ready to Nelly Angel Gray on that boys. Thanks so much for being with us. Let's get you back to Ella, Blair, and Janae.
Thank you so much. We're about to be back to Spokane airspace sector. You can say every single Final Four that she has participated in. Will that continue today over USC? Going to probably upset with how Juju Watkins are leaning on Kiki, Area fan. We don't have much time, and so we very quickly want to come out. Congratulations to Texas. Back in the Final Four for the first time since 2003. You saw the stars. This interview by Angel. But how about a big
All right. Hey, all right. Listen, I'm gonna end this thread. I don't think I'm gonna stay awake much longer. It got pouring outside where I am. So we'll see you guys later. Monday at 5:30. Enjoy the game. Let's go USC. Yeah. I think so too, that she'll make more money next year. All right, thanks, Charlie. I'm glad you're positive all the time. A lot of people aren't. All right. See you later, everybody. 5:30 on Thursday. Go USC.